Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to episode 102 of the Terminus podcast for the weeks of July 22nd, 2018,
Oh my God,
and
we're
about
back.
a month beforehand, because it's been
we are like
a little while.
we are like
A little.
Amtrak on steroids right now.
We are via rail,
Yeah,
you mean.
you know. Oh, right.
We talked about this before we started.
Oh yeah.
Anyway, I'm your dispatcher, Ellis, otherwise known as Train Man. With me I have my engineers, Weibel, Jader, and Milky. And
Hi.
with us, our special guest brakeman, is Dean the Lalp.
Lop,
Lalp.
lop.
Dean the
He's
person
here.
at Loup.
And
Whoa!
we have another special guest to talk about the trip that I took, but we will get to her soon.
Yeah, we. The hell, man.
We as in... What?
Just get on with it.
What? What was the problem with we?
While we get on with the
Sorry,
show,
the
the,
trip that
train will terminate
we-
at the station.
Well, okay.
Hijacked, bitch.
Greetings,
taking them.
comrades. This
This
you
what?
monster. I was interrupted.
What happened to the Russian bias choo-choo? What the hell?
You interrupted me.
No, sorry.
Okay. Alright, here we go. Greetings, comrades. This week we are in tank in Russia on coast of lake or ocean or big piece of water.
Yes. Duh.
I
Anyway,
think that's about the gist of it.
yeah, we're watching TBA play War Thunder. He's in his new D. And we have
Well,
about a month of derailments to catch up on, starting with CSX, of course. On June 18th, where there was an explosion and a subsequent evacuation in Indiana. So there was a mandatory evacuation, a 1-mile evacuation, and there were emergency personnel on the scene. Yeah, there was a train derailment and explosion. I'm not sure what exactly exploded. It just says a train carrying freight derailed and exploded. Can we see what it was? I want to know what it was.
liquefied communism.
Nope, it was Jader's favorite. The
Back
two
and
loaded
forth?
cars were carrying propane.
Oh no!
Boy, let me tell you what.
That's a clean burning train wreck, I'll tell you.
Well, looking at the
God.
pictures, it was not. There's a giant fireball and thick black smoke. So
Good.
there's CSX doing CSX things. Following that, a couple days later, CSX derailed, surprising nobody. A CSX train struck a bridge, like smashed into a bridge with the double stacks, I guess, and kind of messed it
yeah.
up a little bit, and sort of looks like they what's the word? They sardine canned or tuna canned, they can openered the car, the container itself, and that was in
Illuminated.
Allegheny County. So good job, CSX. Day after that, BNSF had their first derailment of the period, which, oh my god! Derailed BNSF railway train that spilled thousands of gallons of crude oil into a swollen river, and just a gigantic pile of tank cars.
That looks like fun.
They're all just laying next to one another in the river. So, hundreds of workers spent much Friday morning sandbagging and construction burns to protect homes on the city's west side from the flooded river. And then the train crashed. It spilled oil in said flooded river. Tributary of the Rock River 33-car train derailed at 4:30 a.m. Friday morning. No injuries reported. Hazmat teams and other BNSF teams arrived on Friday using containment booms and skimmers to prevent the oil slick from spreading. Cannot say how much oil the cars were carrying or how much had spilled into the river. but as of Friday afternoon, the cars remained sunk in the water. Not all the tankers were leaking, but a number were. So a tanker can hold about 700 barrels of crude, or 300 or 30,000 gallons or so. So that's a lot of oil coming out of a very large train that's in the river. So I don't know what the closure is, but I hope they got that cleaned up. So BNSF did that thing. The next day, BNSF did it again, and they set an overpass. Well, no, they set an engine on fire, but it was underneath an overpass that they had to close. So there's just a picture of a BNSF unit, headlights still on, flames coming out of it.
You know,
they didn't want to turn the engine off.
Oh no,
that would have been too much work.
That would have been the smart thing to do.
That would have been too much while you're evacuating. Just don't turn the key or anything.
Too busy going.
I mean, to be fair, it's probably smart to get out of the engine as quick as possible.
Oh yeah.
But
It's
it was on fire.
To turn it off.
It was on fire under a bridge. They had to close the bridge. That was on the 27th. I know, that was on the 23rd. Then the next thing to happen was Norfolk Southern. So, kind of rare in these circles. NS, 3 taken to the hospital after trains collide. 2 trains had a minor collision at the Portsmouth Yard. One train was coming into the station to drop off cars, and another train was on the same track, and they ran into each other. Well, that'll happen. The railroad is required to submit an accident report to the FRA. That'll be posted online by September. Dispatchers said they were not made aware of the incident, so it was just a switching goof. But still, 3 people to the hospital is a little bit much. Then CSX again, 29th. Railway. The statement is railway is back open after crews clear debris. I actually noticed when this one happened because I was watching the Amtracker and watched a bunch of trains get stopped up behind this derailment. It was a coal train. That's really all you can see. There was a relatively messy coal train derailment, multi-car derailment, in St. Albans, West Virginia. Nobody sing, please.
Damn it.
And so they were making repairs from that. So that's okay. That happened. Following thing. What's the next thing? Okay. Thank you, Anonymous Quokka, for pointing me to the next thing. Thank you, Anonymous Lalp. Road operation resumed following derailment in Pell City, Alabama. NS derailed July 5th. Tipped a bunch of cars over, but it looks like empty auto racks. Nope. 7 were multi-level auto rack cars transporting vehicles, 4 were intermodal cars loaded with shipping containers, and 14 were empty. So, tipped over. They're literally just sitting on their sides. I'm assuming this is after the cleanup then, because it looks like they've got stuff in there. So, yeah. NS working, cleaning their stuff up. Broke their thing. Okay, and next is Union Pacific, the one derailment we had from them in this past set of things. And there's a video. Heavy rain caused a train to derail between Pin Creeks and Avro Valley on July 10th. 40 to 45 cars derailed. That's a lot of cars. You can see a video of it on this page due to flash flooding. Yeah. And then Canadian National the following day. And they tipped a bunch of high cubes into a lake. Well, one high cube. No, there are at least 2 high cubes in the lake. One I can see floating with just the top exposed. I guess I wouldn't call that floating. But, yeah, so it tipped which way and the other way, and it looks kind of goofy. It looks like something that would happen in a model railroad almost.
It's less floating and more failing to sink.
Yeah. It's sitting there. It might be sitting on the bottom for all we know.
It might be.
So, CN representatives said crews are working to re-rail and remove the cars. Yeah. Anyway. Are you talking to them? Okay. Okay. Canadian. Okay, then there were two things that happened on the same day. BNSF again, which was 10 cars west of Panhandle, Carson County, Texas. Nothing exciting, I guess, but two of the cars were full of were partially full of a flammable substance, but there was no fireball, so nothing entertaining went on there. And then CP.
Bless you.
No danger after freight train derails, blah, blah, blah. CP, nothing leaked into a nearby river. 25 car derailment. Kind of rough. Anyway, 721, and this was the final derailment, coming back around to CSX in Worcester, in between two other trains. They managed to derail a train, which knocked the other train off the track, the one next to it.
God damn it.
So, I'm not entirely sure what happened, but it looks like bad track and the train just sort of jackknifed. Although there's another container that's wedged up underneath the bridge, which is kind of funny looking. So yeah, I'm glad it's not Providence and Worcester, because we've had P&W problems this week, but not with my P&W, and we'll get to that later. So, anyway, we're moving out of the Class 1 Mantle of Responsibility now. I'm going to be moving all of this stuff into the cargo so everyone can look at it. And we'll be moving on into our trackside tales. Now, I most certainly have the largest and most important thing this week, or this cycle, I guess. And in
That's
fact,
what she said.
like I said, no, I don't think so. I brought a special guest with me to talk about it, because I was accompanied on this trip. I was trying not to spoil it by saying we, but I got called out for saying we.
Sorry.
Or for saying
Ladies and gentlemen,
Sorry.
Mrs. Ellis DeMelk.
No.
Thanks.
Yes, her first name is also Ellis. Anyway.
Ellis and Ellis, alright.
Anyway, Madison is with me on this podcast. This isn't her big debut, because she's only here for this, and she isn't here as the guest. But now
what are you
she's
talking
learning.
about? Dean's just kind of here all the time.
Yeah, you're here. Yeah, Dean and Eric. So you're here to learn how the podcast runs, or at least this part of it, and then we'll get to local, and you can maybe be here for that if you're still here. So anyway.
So I have a picture that's created.
All right.
Awesome.
What's your picture?
Your train pulling in.
Oh crap! Yeah. Well, you guys go first,
But
because I've got the biggest thing, so I'm gonna fill up as much time as we can before she has to go. Jader gets too tired. I have to go to bed or whatever.
I was trying to plug in my phone.
Yes.
Well, anyway, so there's the train pulling into the station.
I ain't got nothing to talk about.
All right. Well, don't talk.
I have a trainload of stuff.
All right, you start then.
All right.
Should we give him a point for that?
No.
Yes.
Fine. Okay.
You get a point if you say something stupid, like a bad pun, or whatever, or basically anything we decide to give a point for. It's really the rules are kind of arbitrary, but if enough people agree on it, then the person gets a point.
And
See, that's like the first point that anybody has gotten in like 3 or 4 episodes.
Yeah, we've had a lot of good, we've had a lot of perfect podcasts, but nobody's gotten a
We have good noodles.
I'm screwing things up. Yeah.
Yeah, Jader. Come on now.
All right, so let's see. I'll start with. I'll sort of try to go in chronological order here. Hyrella Museum went there this past Sunday. I was a docent for the Doodlebug and the RPO. I've kind of dubbed myself Doodlebug God because RPO God was already taken.
Doodlebug God. Doodle God.
Yeah.
Doodle
God, yeah. Maybe?
Doodle God?
I don't know. I mean, there's Doodle Jump, but not Doodle God.
I don't know. Anyway, continue.
Yeah, I gotta say, I love being a docent. Like, I love teaching people about Rarity history, and especially with the RPO. Like, it's kind of cool demonstrating the hook that they used to get the mail. And, yeah. That, I didn't even write this down anywhere. What was it?
Oh, no! Who's calling?
We kind
Graham, no!
Graham.
Re.
That's a title. Graham, no.
Yeah.
No,
All
he's
right.
not getting in the title for that.
Let's see here. Yeah, I love teaching people about railroad history, about the RPO and everything. Let's see. We had kind of a milestone since since number one left the museum 11 years ago and came back about a month and a half ago. Here's a picture of it. We had the headlight lit for the first time in 11 years.
Oh, really?
Yeah, just with an extension cord, but it's better than nothing.
Yeah.
Oh, that's adorable, though.
Sure.
I know,
It's so cute.
It's so cute. What was it? It's Vicky's baby.
Vicky's baby.
Yeah. Here's another angle of it with
I
hats.
might know who you're talking about.
It has a hat.
All right. Yeah.
There's multiple
Is it-
hats.
What was it? We just closed up, and I can't remember if it was me or the other Jacob that had the idea, but like we should put hats on this thing. It needs
Why?
hats. So we're just like, why the hell not? So we put our hats up there, and then if you look right behind the coupler, that's the whistle from the back of the coach that I stuck there.
Oh.
I meant to put it back in the coach, but I forgot.
Mm.
I forgot it was in my hand. I'm just like, all right, it's
Oh.
going in the photo. Let's see. We had 578's headlight on because what was it? Apparently one of the visitors who was a diehard rail fan, I guess, he complained. Well, not complained, but he asked, "Hey, can you guys put the headlight and stuff on?" And we're just like, "Okay, sure." Got that on. There's a decent picture of it with the flag as kind of a beard, or not a beard, like a bandana.
Yeah. Covering up a smug smile.
Yeah.
I mean, it kind of looks like a dopey smile.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see. Took a dramatic picture of a traffic cone. Anybody who knows the Bash Mash will get it.
I
Yeah.
don't get it. But I have taken
Oh,
many a
good.
picture of traffic cones.
Well, yeah, I was sweeping off Roger, and I saw the cone, and I'm like, I know, and I was like, I know what I must do.
Dun 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 dun.
Yeah. Let's see. Oh yeah. And while I was in the RPO, this kid that I don't know, he was like, this kind of made my day. He was like, I don't know, 4, maybe 5.
Uh-huh.
He comes in, he's all excited, and he points to my hat, and he's like, I know that railroad. And I'm like, you do? And he's like, yeah, that's the Pennsylvania railroad. And I was kind of impressed because
God
this
damn it.
kid's like,
Standard,
yeah, this
standard. Did you lead him on
Well,
a
this-
chant after that? Because that's what
No.
you should have done.
no, I didn't.
Did you teach
There's
him about the evils
chemicals
of
in
the New
water,
York
too, and
Central?
people fucking stand.
No. I should have, though, because we don't have any New York Central stuff on the property.
Well, then you can't teach him very much. You need an example to point at.
I don't know,
Excuse me,
I mean-
do you have a moment to talk about our Lord and Savior's standards?
I would say I could teach him about the evils of, like, the Erie, but the Erie's okay.
I mean,
Yeah.
I thought your Lord and Savior was the F40PH.
it is.
There's
That's for
It's different. It's different.
that's for the
nothing to
locomotive.
worry about the lack
We
of
need a
money.
Tuscan Red F40PH.
No, we don't.
No, we don't.
Yes, we do.
No, we don't. Don't
I
cross
was
the
told we
streams, man. Don't cross the
San Luis
streams.
Rio Grande has some, I think. They're pretty Tuscan.
Let's see. And I want to start my brakeman training, hopefully before I go off to college, so I can
Nice.
cross that off the to-do list.
Nice.
Let's see. That takes care of that. Actually, cross this
At
off.
Art Museum, I do like everything. I do a little bit of everything. I can do tour guides, docent, conductor, and motorman. I can do all.
I want to.
And track
What
work,
is it?
apparently. I can do that too.
Track work is easy.
Although I
Tra-
almost threw
well-
myself on the ground doing it.
Like,
Eh,
Track work,
Track work
is
is-
simple, but
yeah,
it's hard
that's a
work.
better way of saying it. Track work is simple.
Yeah.
Track
It's a
work
simple
can
concept,
swinging
but it's
a
not simple
swinging a
work.
pick or a shovel or anything in the heat and in the sun is not easy.
No, it sucks. But
So easy a caveman could do.
yeah, hopefully I can start my brakeman training soon, and then maybe next summer. I mean, I'm at least gonna ask about like conductor. Well, maybe not conductor, but like engineer. See how you do that.
Yeah.
Or motorman. I don't know. We alternate between running Roger or 64 because that's their only operational trolley at the moment.
Yeah, I've operated both locomotives and trolleys.
Yeah, which kind of leads me to what is it? Our current project, which is just getting a fundraiser. Yeah, raising funds to restore the last Columbus streetcar, number 703. Let me find the link. Where is it? We need money for that more than ever because the grant. I don't think I talked about it last time, but the grant that we had like what?
It's like a challenge grant, or actually, no, I think I'm getting my grants messed up.
Well, I can't remember what kind of grant it was, but the people that would be giving it, they're holding it because I don't know, for reasons. Hi, dog. Yeah, they're holding it for reasons, and that was a. Oh, damn it! Hold on, I didn't copy the link.
The suspense is killing me.
Anyway, we need your help more than ever because this is a $12,000 grant that they're holding. Dog. Oh,
Yeah.
Hold on, buddy. Let me do this, and then I'll throw your toy.
Going on.
I'll throw your toy.
More than I should probably know, but
I hate it when we have to deal with, people just hanging around while we're making the podcast. By people
Here
like
we go.
Gator's dog.
I'm not gonna put my dog away for
okay.
this.
So I guess it wasn't.
I love him too much.
I thought they must have put him down.
No, like putting him in my parents' room. No.
But we do have Amazon Smile thing. That part of
Gator, you.
Okay, if I hadn't given Jader a point earlier, I would give him a point for that. This is squeaky
No,
squeaky.
I put away. That's cute.
Nah.
I think I put away.
Hi, puppy.
Anyway,
Not
can you get
so,
the one topic?
Yeah, alright, what else have other people done?
Like I said earlier, I did track work at the museum. I got a picture of the result of what we did.
Good
My
boy.
museum director laid down well, and we basically just nailed it down. And that was fun. Until I was trying to position the track, right, with a crowbar. And
Monkey, wait, why did you post that?
What?
Where we're using a crowbar.
Smile.amazon.
That's because our museum has a thing where if you use that part of the thing,
Oh, okay.
part of the money works it. Or part of the money goes towards the museum.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, basically, I was just putting track into alignment so we could bolt it down to the concrete.
Nice.
And I think I hit a little bit too hard going back with the crowbar, and I flew going back. But I caught myself with my feet on the whale before I fell over.
Okay.
Hey, buddy.
Monkey's a gymnast now.
As you do.
Gymnast.
Olympic.
Somehow managing to catch myself in a way that I thought I couldn't do.
The next Olympics.
And I saw
Competitive crowbar, right?
That's pretty cool. There's only about 3 of these still around on UP. And then while I was waiting for Ellis at the train station, I watched the Corvallis Circle get built in the park.
Wait, finding all the pictures still.
Which is 2005. Was power on it, and they were using the remote control option on it to switch.
Nice.
So the conductor was on the ground, just moving the engine with his fanny pack.
I love robo switchers.
And then 1501 got even more new SP paint.
Oh, here's
It
the
still
trick.
has the light package, right?
Partially. Yes.
Oh, okay.
It still has the tri-ray.
Good.
Woo woo.
Dead Slight's there for faggots.
But before,
Okay.
black area, the area where the numbers were blacked out and just painted over Crudy. Now they're back in their SP appearance. They're great. And also, I spotted this on the side of a tank car. Confession, I stole your burrito. Sorry, Albany, Oregon.
What the heck?
Wait, profession? I stole
No,
your
confession. Confession. I stole your
Oh.
burrito.
burrito? I heard
It's a little picture of a fox or a wolf.
Yeah, I saw that on the tank car. Well, UP jammed on the brakes for some reason and stopped at the station. I don't know why,
Bizarre.
but they did.
Alright.
They want something.
But that's a brief summary of what I've done. I think, in
Anyway.
terms of real life stuff.
Okay.
What are you doing?
What else? Before I get to all my things.
I have a bunch of modeling stuff.
Model your stuff.
Okay.
I nobody's okay. Let's see.
It's like, go ahead. Just go.
All right.
Do it.
Oh, jeez, Christ. Okay, so my I had this idea. I think maybe 3 days. Yeah, like 3 days ago, that I wanted to model the ORM.
Okay.
Yeah, and I figured the easiest way to do it would be to build it in module or build it in 2 modules to have as its own separate thing, and to possibly integrate into my club's layout. Here's a rough sketch of everything.
Whoa.
Oh, dump.
Lots.
Dump.
Anyways, continue with your mods.
Let's see. Yeah, I drew up a rough sketch, and I started. I don't have my project list on me. Or do I?
No.
Nope, that's over somewhere else. But after doing like maybe a day's worth of research, most of the fleet that we have at the museum is modelable, or, is able to be modeled with relative ease.
Hmm.
Like, what was it? Just last week, I bought a Doodlebug to at least get close to the one we have, and then I bought an RPO, which is pretty much all we have. Just it needs like different roof vents or something.
Hmm.
And then I'm going for overall effect, not one particular era of the museum. So I'm going to model the 2 Pullman cars and the Penzie observation car that we had, I think, back in the 70s and 80s up until like 10 years ago or something. We got rid of those. Let's see. And most of the trolley equipment, I found models for those. I found for car 64, there's a Bowser trolley that's exactly like it. I just would need to change the number. It's in the orange and cream and everything. It's all ready to go. Yeah. 703 has a model
I
that's
used to give you
close. Yeah.
With mine, with my museum, I would need the 3D printer on the stuff.
Oh, that's right, because you have a bunch of foreign trolleys.
Yeah.
Damn immigrants.
My freedoms.
Let's see.
Damn immigrant trolleys taking over our rails.
Yeah. And it's going to be a lot. And it's going to be a lot of kit bashing, mainly for, the whole project itself isn't really a lot of kit bashing, just a lot of like repainting and renumbering and, changing a few parts. The main kit bash will have to be 578, because unless I want to pay like $400 for a brass engine and then put like another 400 or so into it, then I'll just take a cheaper Pacific and just kit bash the hell out of that. I've been doing some research for it.
You could go to an antique store and pay $20 for a brass engine.
I love antique stores, but I mean, if I found one, I would do it.
I found a little brass 683 at an antique store in Denver the other day for $20, and it is absolutely destroyed. Like, it's gonna need a lot. It's gonna need a new smoke box, new motor, gearing, tender, paintwork, detailing, all kinds of stuff. But it's a little 683.
And you only have $20 in it, so.
Oh yeah.
I was gonna say, if it was like $100, hell no.
I was gonna ask you if you bought it, but you answered my question.
Ooh. I found the 3D print of one of our main operating car this year. That's cool.
Somebody just did a 3D model of you into 50, and is
Really?
3D printing it. And they have it available for like $50, and I'm gonna have to buy one.
Wait, like in HON3?
$88.
Yeah, an HON3.
Oh, I want to
Wait.
see this.
It's
yes.
It's set up for Blackstone trucks too, so it's
Oh,
like,
yes.
ooh, this is gonna be cool. This is
That
gonna be neat.
That's dope.
Yep. We also finished. Going back
neat.
to just generic news from my end. We finished the floor in 50. I must say we finished finishing. We refinished the floor. We sanded it down, polyurethaned it. It looks really cool. It looks like an old whiskey barrel. We put the giant stupid Penzi throttle in 91 because giant stupid Penzi throttle. I don't know who to curse, Baldwin or the Rio Grande, but whoever it is, curse you. And that's really all I have.
Colorado
Didn't
is
do
on
any
my
botany in
bucket
the
list.
last month.
Nope, not that I'm willing to talk about yet.
Oh, okay.
What are you talking about?
All right.
There has been botany of a different variety going on, but that's not going to be made public yet.
Like you've been actually growing
Was it
plants?
in Boulder?
Yes, I've actually been gardening.
Okay.
I've been growing petunias out of the flag stanchions on 91.
Nice.
Kind of figured.
Nice.
Okay then.
Let's
I've
see.
been getting some stuff for trains. Like, now the Westerford and Whiteford Railway have some maintenance equipment.
Yay.
Steam
Nice.
shovel, rat car, and maintenance caboose.
Please tell me it's Mike Mulligan's steam shovel.
No.
Oh.
And then I added on to the Whiteford Traction Company and added a 5-mile branch line to the town of Corvallis. But that branch line is definitely not based off of the Oregon Electric's Corvallis branch.
I mean,
Down
I don't
to-
know where you'd get the name.
Yeah.
It just came in my head when I was thinking of random shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, are these
And
the
now my
pictures
route-
with the scenery? Or the pictures without the scenery, or the picture without the scenery?
Without the scenery is the town. With the scenery is...
Well, listen, it's a
But-
beautiful town. I think it's got a lot going for it.
2 warehouses so far.
Yeah, and I think the
And the
beautiful-
station map there, can't forget about that.
grass question mark.
I like the
It's a-
drive-in theater thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean
that-
that's I mean that's okay, but the town is
Well,
Not
hang on.
the-
Which one of the pictures is the town?
the one with the
The
grid.
town is at the very end.
Oh.
Since that screenshot was taken, I built
Oh,
one
wow.
at the town and didn't take a screenshot of it.
Alice, you're just like heavily breathing.
And then at the very end of the Brightford Traction Company in Brightford, I added a railroad for it to interchange with, so that way it didn't seem like, oh, it's just on its own, isolated from the world.
Okay.
So I made an off-map connection that
that
has
an
an
iPortal?
iPortal and 2 portals.
Cool. I've never seen what the actual like physical eye portals look like. I've only done the basic ones.
It's literally just a white tube with some track in it.
And then I
Right.
decided to make a movie theater scene on my route outside of Silverpool.
It looks pretty cool. I'm gonna be honest. It looks good.
I kid-bassed the hell out of that movie theater screen.
Is that just a wait?
That's 5 signs put together to make a movie theater screen.
But that's clever.
Nice.
And then I have cars parked in quote-unquote PA systems so they can hear the movie.
What are the PA systems?
I remember those.
I think they're air raid sirens.
Oh,
Air raid sirens.
That's
Well, see, I've been to a drive-in. I know they're kind of rare in this day and age. I've been
Yeah.
to a drive-in. Well, we both have, right? Yeah. And instead of having just speakers everywhere, they just have you tune your radio to a certain frequency.
Oh, that's smart.
Yeah. And they broadcast on that frequency, so they don't need a whole bunch of speakers around. Like, I'm not sure if that's how they did it in certain movie theaters, but I'm just saying, for realism's sake, for Milky, if he wants to do it, if he wants to go without the weird speaker assemblages, it would still be legit.
I based off of that one photo
From a link.
of the NWA passing the
Oh yeah.
drive-in.
That's
Yeah,
perfect.
that's what that was based off of.
Yeah, that's
I need to get an A class and recreate that photo.
Yeah.
I want to be discount Ken Patterson.
Just a nice little scene that adds a little bit of detail.
Yeah, it's nice. I always find scattering things throughout the route, little things, make the world a lot more alive.
Yep.
Like,
Especially because this photo that I took was from a tracking camera that I have.
Oh,
It's
okay.
static.
That's nice.
I
Yeah, but how are
love
you going to
tracking
explain all
cameras.
those cars there during the day?
No,
They
no.
abandoned their cars.
Cars
No.
are abandoned.
No, it's Fallout. Everybody
Yeah.
abandoned their cars to go to a shelter.
Well, that's why there's
No, the
nobody
car-
in the cars.
The cars are there for
Running
rent.
movie.
Yeah.
You pay to sit in the car.
It's like
the
a normal
movie.
movie theater, except just with cars instead of seats. It's not
Oh.
actually a drive-in.
You just walk
You
into cars.
walk in, and then you get a car.
Yeah. See, I want to do that someday. Go to a drive-in in like a 50s, 50s convertible or something.
Yeah.
Just, nostalgia.
Oh, I thought you were going to say go into a drive-in and sit in someone else's car.
The best
Yeah,
part
sure.
about drive-ins is that you can tune the radio to one thing, and when you're done watching that movie, you can just look at for the other frequencies and tune it again to see the other movies.
Yeah. That's like the only problem with it, because you can just listen in to like other movies.
Yeah, but usually it's about an arm and a leg to get into a drive-in in the first place, so...
Yeah.
But anyway.
Of course, the start of the picture.
Bring drive-ins back.
The way it
What
was
else have
figured.
we got
The drive-in's great
before,
again.
before we really get into it?
I have, let's see. I kind of want to plug this here. I'm going to see at the State Fair this year.
Okay.
We'll be set up in the Cardinal Building at the Ohio State Fairgrounds from July 25th to August 5th.
Okay.
Come and see us. Donations are greatly appreciated. It's our largest fundraiser of the year. It keeps our trains running. Let's just say that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
shameless
Cool.
plug. Woo.
Yay.
Come to Ohio. Come to the
Hey.
Ohio State Fair.
Come to Ohio. There's a reason to do it, I guess.
There's
Besides
plenty of
all-
reasons to come to Ohio.
Yeah, no,
Thanks.
I've been to Ohio twice, and I've passed through it and one more time.
Oh, hey,
And now
yeah.
you've passed through it once, too. What did you
Yeah,
think?
Madison, what do you think of Ohio?
I don't know. I was probably asleep the whole time.
Yeah, she was asleep.
Damn it.
I wanted to point out Cleveland, but we both slept through it.
Come on down to Cleveland town.
Yeah. I was like, the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame is in Cleveland. I'll point it out. And then we woke up in Erie. Anyway. Speaking of waking up in Erie. On
Oh boy.
on
Oh,
June the 30th, when we should have been making the podcast, arguably, Madison and I were getting on an Amtrak train in Providence and beginning what has been dubbed the Amtrak.
Adventure
You could have
time.
You could have made the
Come on,
podcast and
Grab.
just went to the beach first.
Yeah, we could have made the podcast, but I went to the beach. Well, we went to the beach, and so did like half of the family. So,
And ate lobster.
yeah, and we ate
Lobster's good.
lobster.
I like butter
Lobster.
Lobster and butter.
I noticed you're not
But-
eating the lobster.
As
Got to put my butter on it.
as I've detailed previously, the Amtrak was a many-segment journey from Providence to Williamsburg, Virginia, to D.C., to Chicago, to Flagstaff, to the Grand Canyon, to Los
My
Angeles,
backyard.
to Albany, Oregon, to Sacramento, California, to Chicago again, and then to Boston finally, or Worcester, really, in our case.
It was supposed to be Boston.
It was supposed to be Boston, but
Thanks to my dad.
thanks to your dad, but also thanks to Amtrak, because, oh boy, one of the things that sticks out at me about the trip, is the fact that I don't care what it is at this point. I understand that there are qualms with the Chargers in a number of cases, but Amtrak needs something that survives better than their P-42s at current. The P-42s are
They should
getting
take our Chargers.
old.
They were
and they're breaking down a lot.
I think you put it this way: besides derailment, we have seen every single way that something can go
They're
wrong
what,
on
30
Amtrak.
years old
Oh, yeah.
now? Late
At
80s,
least
early 90s?
24.
I
The
don't know.
I
When
know.
did they
Genesis
start?
series came out in like the 90s sometime, like the early 90s.
Yeah, no, they're not. They're
1993.
25 years old.
Okay.
So yeah,
Okay, so yeah, they're
Yep.
25 years old
and
this
there
year.
were some that were built in
So
2000.
they're getting up there.
Until 2000.
No. I'll go sort of step by step, and we can talk through our stories from the segments. And I'll try to not draw it out too much, like, Train Mountain debrief. But I think TBA is trying to kill himself with shrapnel against a wall. Like he's shooting at the wall and injuring his
Nice.
driver. I'm not sure what's going on. And he just killed the
Nice.
driver of his truck.
the truck.
Anyway, we left Providence at 10:22 p.m. Well, actually, no. We left Providence at about 10:30 because our first train was late, and that was like setting the stage for the entire trip. It somehow managed to become late between Boston and Providence, which is a real feat.
Yeah, a whole
Yeah.
hour.
Yeah, it takes an hour to get between the two places, and it was already 10 minutes behind, and it was like, what do you do? What happened? But it got to us, we got on the train, and we went to sleep. Well, with difficulty, because
We didn't figure it out yet.
that and the amphitheaters that are on the regional are remodeled with leather seats and are less comfortable than the ones without leather seats.
I was sticking to everything.
Yeah, because she wore, like, skirts and
I
dresses.
wore a dress and short shorts, like, most of the time, and my legs stuck to everything.
Even the air.
Everything made of leather.
Like, I stood up, and you could hear, like, you could hear, like, Velcro.
So she was sticking to the seat because, as Weibold knows quite well, it's nice and
Ugh.
humid over here. Dean
Yeah.
knows too, but you're used to it. And so we woke up somewhere. Well, we woke up in New York City first. I was like, "Hey, look, we're in Penn Station."
It's
It's like
3:30 in the
yeah,
morning.
it was like 3 in the morning. And then we went out of Penn Station. We went out to beautiful New Jersey, and then fell asleep
Somewhere
and
in
woke up somewhere in
Philadelphia.
Beautiful.
Exactly.
Don't know where.
So that's what happened.
No, we went to the meth capital of the world.
No, we did that later. That
Oh.
was freaking. Oh man, you want to talk about places that definitely have meth problems? It's like every little town we saw in West Virginia,
West Virginia.
Pennsylvania,
Damn it.
weird parts of southeastern Colorado, New Mexico, like probably Arizona
I
too.
thought Colorado would be weed, but
Well, with weed, it's legal. It's not a problem. You've just got the meth coming over the border from New Mexico where they manufacture it all.
oh, okay.
Graham can corroborate this. He gave
Yeah.
us plenty at the station. Anyway,
For the record, we sold it.
we sold it. Yeah, we made a pretty high
Sold
NSA.
some.
Yeah.
Enough
We're
for us
making
to get room
jokes.
service one night.
Yeah.
If you're just joining us, the
Okay.
traveling drug lords Bonnie and Clyde of the 21st century have just left New Mexico.
No, it was the Lakeshore Limited, not the 21st century.
No.
Anyway, so we woke up somewhere around Philadelphia, and then we hung out, like, in our seats, and then in the cafe car.
Which replaced the dining car.
No, not on that train. Regionals have always just had cafe cars.
Regional.
And then we finally got to, I almost said West
West
Virginia. Williamsburg, Virginia.
West Virginia.
Williamsburg, Virginia, got off the train with all of our bags, which we were still learning how to deal with all
We
of our
had
bags.
7
Yeah, you
in
did.
total.
We have a lot of bags.
We had
Uh,
2 suitcases. We had two suitcases, 2 tote bags.
Yeah.
A gym bag. I had my
And
mini
2
backpack,
backpacks.
and he had his big backpack, and then we had a cooler that currently says Ice
Yep.
Ice Baby.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
the cooler, but the cooler was in the
And
tote
a
bag.
red bag.
And a red bag. Yeah, the red bag. But that red bag is a little small thing that's
Small,
just
small,
holding
small.
And a
water.
Money.
partridge in a pear
Uh,
tree.
Yeah, and a partridge in a pear tree. Well, we had a lot of bags because, A, we brought snacks. B, we brought, each of us brought clothes for 2 weeks, which is a lot of clothes. And then we brought, stuff to sleep on the train, because if you're ever traveling long distance on Amtrak, you're going to want at least a blanket, if not a blanket and a pillow.
I made a blanket,
Okay.
and it's the nicest. Ellis says it's the best thing we brought on the trip.
Oh, yeah, it was awesome. It was a big
It's-
fuzzy blanket.
I made it. It's a tie blanket. It's got 2 pieces of fabric on top of each other. You cut it, you tie it. It's so fuzzy.
Fuzzy was
Was it
God.
Fuzzy hadn't
Anyway.
hair.
Actually, no. Fuzzy Wuzzy was a blanket.
In this case, Fuzzy Wuzzy was a blanket. But it was awesome. But that helped us sleep on all of the nights in Amtrak. On Amtrak. So many
except for the nights you
many
had the Amtrak
nights-
blankets.
many nights of our sleep. So we got to Williamsburg, got off the train with all of our bags, and we're struggling with them. The hotel was not even 2 blocks away from the train station. It was, you walk out the front of the train station, take a left, take another left, cross the railroad tracks, and you're at the hotel.
Meanwhile, we had a person drive by us and say, "Hey, I'm an Uber driver. You want a
That's-
free ride?"
Yeah, it's
We're like, "No, we're just going."
She's like,
we're-
Do
That
you need
sounds
help? You look
suspicious.
like you need help. And we're like, we're just going to the governor, whatever inn. It's right around the corner. She's like, okay, you're fine. Half of me was tempted to let her get out, load all the bags in the car, and then drive about 30 seconds and be like, we're here, we're good. Because, no good deed goes unpunished. But, yeah. So, we did that. We went to Busch Gardens. It was sweltering. It was 98 degrees and 1,000% humidity because we're in Virginia.
That's
And
high
We
pressure
survived
steam,
on
like,
water rides.
oh yeah, we went on water rides just to survive.
We went on Pompeii, and we literally got even more hot.
Oh yeah, because in Pompeii, spoiler alert for this ride, they set fires inside the building, and then you go down the big
Nice.
splash flume thing.
But the
Uh,
rafts, I think, was really fun. I was wearing a dress at this point, by the way. I was
Oh, boy.
soaking wet. We were literally wringing everything out at this point.
Yeah, after the Roman Rapids. Shut up.
What?
I heard that. Nothing. Anyway, so we did that. We did Colonial Williamsburg. Not to bore you with the actual interesting details of what we did during the trip. I know this is more about the trains. So then we did a little puddle jump hop from Williamsburg, Virginia, to Washington D.C. And the thing about that the entertaining thing about that is, besides the fact that we were late, stuck behind a CSX train, and the conductor kept calling the train out on the radio, be like, "We're stuck behind CSX Q443 right now." And I was like, "Damn, this guy's intense about this."
And then there was another Amtrak passenger train number blah blah blah.
90 was stuck ahead of, we were stuck behind CSX Q whatever, and then Amtrak train number 90, which was an hour and a half
you should
late.
tell them about what's different about this segment, because we weren't on the rail pass.
Yeah, so... Oh, I'm not even
Okay.
sure if I started with that.
You did.
I didn't start with that. I wanted to. I got distracted. So, we did this because of the Amtrak Rail Pass, which is something that Madison found out about, and then we put this trip together. The Amtrak Rail Pass provides you with a certain number of segments at a certain number of days. The one we got is 8 segments in 15 days for about $450 a piece, or a person. You get coach seats, but you can upgrade for, a reduced overall price with the Rail Pass. It's pricey, of course, but you get a lot for the money that you're spending. Anyway, so this was one segment that we did that was not on the Rail Pass, and the reason is because it was so inexpensive, it wasn't worth it to put it on the Rail
We
Pass.
also
Because
couldn't fit it.
yeah, well, we would have had to put one of the other segments on the Rail Pass, and that made it not worthwhile to put this one on the rail pass because it was for cost effectiveness. Anyway, TBA just got blown up by a gigantic bomb that fell in his face.
How much was the rail pass, like, for the entire trip?
It was $4.50 a piece.
Oh, okay.
$4.50 a person.
That
For
see,
the 8
I mean, that's a lot,
segments.
but
Cheaper than flying.
That does not include meals
Oh,
in
yeah.
the dining
Dinner
car.
in the
Yeah.
diner.
It seems like a lot, but you're
Finer.
getting a lot. In fact, I've been tempted to go through and create a bunch of 8-segment plans just for fun, and I found one that may be the most absurd yet, which is, for us, it would be, oh, it's because you're holding your phone close to the wire. Providence to DC, DC to, no, crap, what was it? Yeah, Providence to DC on the regional, DC to New Orleans on the Crescent, New Orleans to LA on the Sunset, LA to Chicago on the Southwest Chief, Chicago to Sacramento on the California Zephyr, up the coast on the Coast Starlight, and then back across with the
That's
Empire
awesome.
Builder and the Lakeshore Limited. And that's 8 segments, and you go, like, all the way around the perimeter of the country and into Chicago twice. And it's gotta be the most absurd thing. I'm not even sure if you can do it in 15 days. I think it takes longer than that.
you know what you should.
Anyway.
Something I want to try, at least for my own,
What?
for my own Amtrak. Start in, Cleveland or Toledo or something. Go to Chicago. Go to St. Louis, and then either go back to Chicago on the Zephyr to, Utah and California and Colorado, or go down through Texas to LA and then up the coast and then back.
Yeah, I will help you set up an 8-segment plan if you want me to. I will gladly do that because it's fun to do travel.
I would say start
Anyway,
a travel agent.
It was my fallback career choice. I'm gonna be honest.
Anyway, DC.
Yeah, DC. Well, segment from there to DC. The best part about that, aside from the conductor being particularly aggressive towards CSX, was the girls that we met that were in.
No.
These were like no Jader, no,
Oh,
like 13.
Oh, no.
You didn't say.
Jill it.
13 and 17. The older was okay, but the younger didn't have all the proper paperwork to go on Amtrak on her own, which,
I
13-year-old
completely
can't do.
forgot about that.
You forgot about that?
Yeah.
And because her mom didn't set it up right or whatever. And she didn't even have her ticket printed out. So,
The older one didn't.
that's right. The younger one, who couldn't travel on her own, had her ticket. The older one didn't get her ticket printed out by her mom. Anyway, I digress. They were freaking out at the station. The younger one in particular was crying because they couldn't get on the train, and the ticket agent was freaking out at them, like, super stressed out, like, and, yeah. Not like that.
Just
but,
like that.
like, trying to organize something with her mom on the phone. Like, she had one phone up to one ear and one phone up to the other ear, like, trying to figure something out.
So we tried to be responsible adults.
Yeah, so we tried to pull what we pulled going to Philadelphia, which is, we would assume responsibility for these underage people.
That really sounds nefarious.
And it just reminded me of, like, all right, Chris, this is why we'll use your new dad.
Yeah, not my
What was
dad.
that for? Oh, that's right. That was for the SEPTA train. That's right. Was that
No,
Amtrak?
that was for Amtrak.
Oh, that's right, because we took SEPTA in the
That was
afternoon. That
Amtrak.
was the Amtrak from Paoli into Philly.
Yeah.
It is
Yeah.
pouring.
That was the one because we had the same situation.
Chris, get off the train. You're not my dad.
I am
Yeah.
today.
Arthur, get out of the tank.
And,
You're not my
and-
dad.
but yeah, that was that. We didn't have to do it in the end, but we ended up going to the cafe car and hanging out with them, because the conductor was watching them in there, keeping an eye on them.
The
And then,
conductor was nicer than the lady
That's
at the
good.
station.
well, the conductor was a little bit less
That's good.
stressed out. We had a lot of really great Amtrak personnel, but we also had a lot of Amtrak personnel that were stressed out because of delays or what have you.
We had some funny ones.
We had some great people, which we will get to. So we get to DC, we get to our hotel, we get upgraded, which this is a hotel I spent exactly $6.40 on because of
It's
Hotels.com
like
rewards.
a freaking mansion.
Yeah, so $6.40 plug for Hotels.com and their free nights policy, where if you use them enough, you get a free night for the value of the average of the nights that you bought.
Why? But it's basically about the size of the basement area where Ellis has his computer. Plus,
it's like double this. It was huge.
Plus,
Wow.
upstairs in the
Wow.
kitchen.
Yeah, we got upgraded. We got upgraded to the Victorian suite, just because I don't know why.
They're like,
But-
hey, here's a free upgrade.
Yeah, and I was like, you realize that we're poor. It's like we can't tip all of you like we should, but then we got room service anyway.
Yeah, I'm like, yeah, we saved all this money, we got upgraded. Let's just get room service because we're hungry.
Yeah, so
We had 5 minutes to order room service.
because we got there late, so we got in the hotel, we got settled, and then she checks the time for the room service. She's like, "We have 5 minutes," and so we called up and got room
I
service.
got a lobster grilled cheese.
I got something
Oh
else.
my
Oh, I got a
God.
You got
Caesar
a
salad
what?
that was not that good. I was not. I was actually.
No, not
I
you.
got a
not you.
chicken
What
Caesar
did you
salad
get,
that was
Madison?
not that good.
Okay,
Wait,
I did.
what?
Lobster
I did hear
grilled
that
cheese.
correctly. That sounds horrible and expensive.
It does
No, it's
Wait a
really,
minute.
even Ellis likes it.
I actually have had it. Not
Like-
bad. I didn't think it was bad.
It's basically pieces of
I'm sure he
lobster
understands
meat
what it is.
with cheese
Oh, okay.
buttered
on
buttered
bread.
bug meat grilled cheese.
It's
No, I mean,
Honestly, not that
sounds,
bad.
That sounds
Like-
good.
Really good.
yeah. Anyway, there's a place that has them out here. It's a more upscale restaurant, but the food
Let's
there is
go.
really good. Anyway,
Operation
so
Apollo.
we did that. Next day, we went out. We went to the Smithsonian, which we crossed. So right when we were getting there, it was 4th of July in D.C. They were starting the parade. We were like, "No, the parade's starting. We're going inside because it's like 95 degrees."
I'm playing Pokemon the entire time.
Yeah. Yeah, and so we go into the
There
museum
are
of
so many Pokestops in DC.
yeah. We go to the Museum of American History. We check out all the stuff. She directed me at all the train stuff and had me explain things.
Show
And
me pictures of the.
oh yeah, crap. I have some
We have
Awesome.
pictures.
I have
Yeah,
pictures.
but lots of pictures.
I have.
Don't-
They're all in the
Oh,
dump
the
group.
dump
Hold
group.
on, I need to scroll up the stuff. Yeah, it's over 100 pictures. Some
Yeah,
involving
buddy.
me, which I'm not happy
No.
with.
Puppy,
Where's
you
the
can't-
train-related ones?
you can't
Past
help my
Colonial
watermelon.
Williamsburg.
There's the boat.
There are some boats. Oh,
Ochikura?
crap. Did I make a...
That was in the museum. No, put the Batman first.
No, I'm looking for... No, Batman is not that important.
What?
We saw Batman.
Batman defies you,
Okay,
Ellis.
for the record, the first thing you see when you walk into the Museum of American History is
Yes.
the
The
Batmobile.
Batmobile.
Okay.
Anyway, we've now
Look at the
seen
ship.
both of the what was this? What was this engine? John Bull. We've seen the real John Bull and the fake John Bull. Oh, there's the Batmobile.
Yes.
All right, hold on. There's the Batmobile.
Yes.
It looks pretty
Yes.
cool, gonna be honest. Picture of promontory that everybody's seen before.
In the old American.
But cool picture nonetheless. You know, locomotives,
Milky's
streetcars.
trolley car.
Yeah,
Lit.
Capital Traction Company, Madison and Wabash, and then the real centerpiece here, which is 1401, which Graham was upset that we got to see it because when he was there,
That
it was
thing is
covered in a
beautiful.
tarp, apparently, because they were working on it. It is shiny
Don't need to
and
get it out of there.
It's beautiful.
and then a whole bunch of other stuff. We went through pretty much the whole museum, and then got back outside, and we saw the last parade.
Was it
float.
Oh wait,
The
question.
tail end of it.
Was it like super crowded when you
Yep.
guys were in the museum?
It was fairly
Okay.
crowded
Yeah.
because it was
Because
4th
I
of July.
remember my 8th grade class trip. We got to choose, I think, 2 of the Smithsonian's to go to. We went to that one, and it was absolutely packed.
Oh yeah,
Or at
No, it's a
least, or at least
popular
like
one.
by the
I
escalator
was the
where
one
the
who
John
picked
Bull
it
is.
because of the trains.
Mhm.
Surprisingly, I picked it, and I said I want to go see
Aw.
the trains.
Yeah, but then I got my moment, surprisingly enough, because she got to make her choice with the trains. So then I got to choose. You know, I didn't have to waste my choice on trains. or spend. It wouldn't have been a waste. But so my choice was go to the Air and Space
Ooh.
Museum and see. I'm a giant nerd. The original prop from Star Trek: The Original Series, because they have it on display in a glass case. The foam Enterprise from Star Trek: The
I don't
Original
think
Series
that-
that they used for all the shots.
That was there when I went to DC in like 13. When I was there.
No, it's very recent. It was very recent, and it lived in the gift shop for a little
Okay.
while, but now it has its own case. And it was cool. I don't have a picture of it right now. All the pictures on my phone I haven't put on my computer yet.
I like
so
this
can't
one
really
license
access
plate.
those.
I am mad.
I
Me.
am mad. Wybold,
Yes.
remember the name of the ship in the ship-based one?
The ship name in the ship-based one.
The ship-based Isaac Bell book. God damn it, what is it called?
In Thief?
Yeah, in The Thief.
Oh God, I don't know. I have
Started
it right
with an
here,
M.
though.
I need those freaking books.
I have it right here.
The Mauritania or whatever.
Or a tank.
They
Yeah.
have a model of that in the museum.
Really?
Yes, I was like, oh, wait. It's on my phone. I don't even have my phone on me.
Yeah.
My phone's up here. I don't feel like
Mauritania.
taking it
Mauretania.
off. Yeah, I went, oh, look at all these cool models. Oh my god, I know that one. And I took a picture of it just to be like, why would I found the ship?
I found the ship.
But
Great
anyway,
ship. Did you find the movie theater on board?
I don't think it was a cutaway. But never mind. Yeah, I know what you mean. Okay.
Doodle.
Anyway, why is there a freaking dolphin in the sound?
That's
No.
my dog.
Anyway.
I mean, that's
Is
the
it the
sound
squeaky
they
dog
did.
again?
Yeah. Anyway, the dog itself is not squeaky.
I just imagine a squeaky dog.
Anyway,
He has a little
so
hedgehog thing.
then we got on the Capital Limited. The Capital Limited is where the delays really started.
Mm.
Because we got on, we go
But first,
through
dining car.
first the dining car. Okay, thank you, Anderson. We will talk about this later. For cutting dining car service on the Capital Limited and leaving us with really crappy tasting cafe car food. I'm glad I didn't have to spend more time than necessary on that or the Lakeshore Limited. Anyway, we will talk about that a lot more later.
Doodle.
So, we got to the Capital Limited. We had some kind of meh food. And
Good
then
to
we
know.
got to watch the hills of West Virginia. No singing, please. Until the sunlight faded out. Now, this being our second night on the train, we kind of figured out how to sleep. We had a certain arrangement. And it's nice because when you're on the train rocks you to sleep. Now, the issue with that is that means when the train stops rocking because you stop, for whatever reason, you wake up.
Just
So-
so you know, I haven't been able to sleep for days.
She got used to the rocking.
Go to the DNS. You won't sleep for weeks.
No, you'll have a
No,
concussion. You won't
yeah.
be allowed to.
I was gonna say
oh, yeah.
you'll sleep for weeks because they'll knock you out cold.
The
DNS.
ow, 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 ow. Just take it easy. You don't need to run. All right. Anyway,
Why are you running?
why are you running? But we woke up somewhere outside of Pittsburgh because we had an engine down, and the electronics in the engine were going haywire apparently, and so they were just turning it off and turning it back on again. But we were stuck there for a little while. We finally got into, obviously Pittsburgh is in the middle of the night on that trip, which is disappointing because I love Pittsburgh. And, we got out the other side. We got all the way through Cleveland, blah, 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 to Chicago. And there we met Mason. We were about 3 hours late. But coming into Chicago, I couldn't resist. Coming into Chicago, I'm looking out the window. Madison's like, oh, this is a cute neighborhood. And I'm like, this is not a cute neighborhood. Because I'm looking at the place, I'm like, I'm getting some vibes from this place.
Where the
And-
hood? Where the hood? Where
yeah,
the hood?
and I'm like, oh, is this one of the neighborhoods where you get shot? Where are those neighborhoods? Oh, is that a rude thing to ask?
Is that a rude thing to ask?
Is
Yeah.
it one of the? No, wait, no. They shoot you with the guns they stole off all those trains.
Exactly. Great job.
Yay, memory.
Yay, remember. Yay, callbacks. No.
Flashbacks.
No, I'm not showing those.
Yes, you
Uh,
are. Yes, you have.
No, I don't, actually.
Oh,
Anyway,
Puppy.
so you'll be gone before we get to this part of the trip, so I don't have to show anything.
I mean, I don't know.
Okay.
Maybe.
Anyway, we get into Chicago. Mason takes us around. We get on the Chicago Loop. Where is that picture? Where's that picture? There it is. Yes. Okay, that one's good. We get on the Chicago Loop. We get on the L, just for the sake of it, because we only have a couple of hours there, and I just sort of want to dick around.
And all of a sudden, I remember I need to take my medication.
Well, all of a sudden it starts pouring first. We ride the L out of like the downtown Loop area, a couple of stops to Chicago. The name of the town, the name of the location on the line was called Chicago, and so we went to Chicago, and
Okay.
what's this message from? All right, anyway,
I remember I need to take my medication.
yeah.
And
So
I need water.
it starts pouring while we're at that station, which is an open air station. We get on the train and it starts pouring harder. And one of the things that we're carrying with us inside the little red bag that got talked about is a bottle with a Brita filter built in.
Ooh.
So it's awesome. My mom gave it to me for the trip. She's like, "Here, use this," and I was like, "I don't think I'm going to use this," but I took it anyway.
You were debating not to.
I was tempted to not, but we get into the station, which thankfully is a covered station. There's water pouring in an absolute torrent off the roof. And she goes, "Oh, I need to take my pills, but we don't have any water on us." And I'm like, "I have this filtering bottle, this water pouring off the roof, and I can reach it." So I take the
Good
cap off
idea.
the bottle, and I reach out over the side of the station. And I was terrified I was going to drop the thing, and I would have to climb down the stairs to get it. I reach out over the edge, and I fill up the bottle like halfway in a pretty short amount of time with
Don't
the water.
try it at home unless
pouring.
you have Brita filter.
Yeah. I mean, it's still rainwater, though. It's not that bad.
It came off a roof.
It
Yeah,
tasted good though.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. It came off a roof, but it didn't exactly spend a lot of time in contact with the roof. But, you know, it's still rainwater, and everyone else, Mason, was like, "That's gross. Don't do that." And I was like, "We're doing it. I'm getting water." And I gave it to Madison, who was skeptical. And she's like, "Tastes like water."
It's like, eh.
It's like, okay, it's good, it works. And then I immediately told my mom about it, and she's like, "You're gross, that's awful, why would you do that?" And I was like, "You gave me this bottle, what did you expect?"
Yeah.
Go get it.
And then we left Chicago. So we get on the Southwest Chief. And this is where the fun begins. Total delay on the trip by this point is about 4.5 hours total. Because of the 3 hours coming into Chicago, and then the 1.5 that we gathered on the other trains. This is where the fun really begins. Although it isn't with delay. Shout out to our cafe car attendant, you'll find out why in a second.
Shout out to Whitney.
Yeah, shout out to Whitney. That was her name.
Whitney
she's
Houston?
awesome. No.
Damn it.
Oh, Whitney, our cafe car attendant.
Whitney
She
cafe
was-
car.
I tipped her like
Whitney, Chicago.
$5 every single time we went down there.
So we get on the train, and we hear conductor to the dining car and mechanical to the dining car if they're around. And we go, and she sort of looks at me, and my first thought was, that's not good. And so we get underway, and we hear that the dining car is not working. We don't have one, effectively. They cannot cook food in it. And so the story goes, coming into Chicago, what happened was there was an AC failure in the dining car, but just in the kitchen. So in the kitchen, the cook was cooking at like 115 degrees.
Oh my god.
So they got into Chicago, they pulled that dining car off the train and replaced it. But the one they replaced it with hadn't been properly inspected, or they didn't have time to inspect it because they had to do the hot swap.
See, you'd think they'd have like at least one or two that are ready to go on standby.
Well, this one was presumably ready to go, but apparently it wasn't. So
Nice
normally
job,
the-
Amtrak.
Yeah, normally the crew will come in and do an inspection of the train and make sure if anything's, check if anything's wrong before they leave. But because of the hot swap, because they had to swap it out, probably because the train was so late coming in, too, they didn't have time to
right.
inspect the dining car before we had to leave.
Okay, that makes sense.
And so the crew is coming in about the same time as we are, and that's not supposed to happen. The crew gets in there, realizes we're screwed, and we have to leave anyway. So we leave, and then we find out that there is no dining car service, and the cafe car gets mobbed.
Oh boy.
The cafe is not designed to support like 700 people or however many people are on
The
that
whole
train.
train.
Oof. Ouch. Owie.
And
They also had to accommodate the sleeper cars because sleeper cars have meals included.
yeah, they're guaranteed meals. So in between the cafe car running out of food and having to restock at random stops wherever we could get Amtrak personnel to basically resupply the train with stuff bought at nearby stores. They also had to order food for the entire complement of sleeper, which included ordering Papaginos. I think it was Papaginos, actually.
Papa John's, he said.
I said Papa John's, but I think it was Papaginos. I said Papa John's, I think I was wrong.
What the hell is Papa?
Whatever, it was
You were
pizza.
telling me
They
about.
ordered pizza for the entire complement of
And then
sleepers.
there was some left over. They're like, hey, you can buy it for $10.
Yeah. You
Buy
could
a slice of pizza for $10.
Yeah.
Yeah, that it better be like really good pizza.
No, it was the only pizza.
Still,
That's the issue. But anyway, so we survived on cafe car food, which was admittedly not bad. And the dining car was not
Better
functional.
than the Capital Limited.
Oh yeah, much better. They had these cheese-filled pretzels. Oh my god, they were amazing. I
Those
should have
are-
bought all of them before they all went away.
I love cheese-filled pretzels.
What?
You ever tried dipping pretzels in beer cheese?
Oh my god.
Yes.
See, now
Oh
you
my
understand.
God.
Now you understand. She was
If
just.
you've ever tried Applebee's beer cheese dip and pretzels,
I
it is
haven't tried
amazing.
Applebee's, but
It
I've
is
tried.
the best. Nothing can top it.
Have you tried? Was it Mellow Mushroom? Do they have that out in New
Oh, that's
in New
No, I've
England?
never heard of that.
Oh, Mellow Mushroom is the shit.
Anyway.
Try the Applebee's.
Anyway.
When we do the Ohio
Second
State
time.
Limited, I'm taking. When we do the Ohio State Limited, I'm taking y'all to a Mellow Mushroom.
Okay.
Welcome to the pizza podcast, everyone.
Yeah. Well, we're going to be talking about Amtrak food more. So,
Hey,
anyway,
pizza.
we continue on with our journey. And eventually, about 2 hours late, so total delay at this point about 6 hours, 30 minutes, make it to Flagstaff, at which our connection is waiting to take us to Williams. But, however, to preface this, I had gotten an email saying, I got 2 emails, they both said disappointing things. First one saying, you're going to be checking in late to or rather, the place that you have rented a room from in Williams, if you do late check-in, it's an extra $30. And I went, well, I can't do that. That's extra money. I don't want to do that. And so we immediately set out looking for another place that was at least
Right.
at least cheaper than the price of the hotel that we'd already paid for plus $30. That allowed late check-in. And she found this place called the Canyon Country Inn,
That's a name.
which I subsequently called and asked, do you guys do late check-in? Like, do you charge a fee? And they're like, no, we don't do that. And I went, all right, actually, what?
I got stuff.
Oh, yeah. Well, actually, what I said to the guy on the phone was, if you guys do not charge for late check-in, you have my business. And he said, no, we don't charge for late check-in. I went, okay, and I immediately went on Hotels.com and booked a room with them, because that was the way he asked me to do it, and canceled my reservation at the other place. So we get in to Williams, finally, and the shuttle driver has never heard of this place, but I directed him to it. He drops us off there, and I go into the main room, and their late check-in is literally just an envelope on the desk with a key in it that says, here, Ellis D'Amelio, this is the Wi-Fi password, this is Continental Breakfast, come by the office in the morning to check in for real. And I was like, oh, this place is awesome. And so then we walk into the room,
I have the panoramic.
and this was the last,
It's a little blurry.
this was the last actual hotel that we stayed at, and it is my favorite.
It was like a house.
It was a little slice of home. It was totally adorned,
It was covered in lighthouses.
and there was a teddy bear on the bed.
Oh my god.
It was
Aw.
so awesome. It was so cute.
What's it called?
Again-
The Candy Country Inn?
Canyon Country
Not
Inn.
candy.
Canyon.
Oh,
Like
I heard candy.
No.
My
Canyon
My fat ass
Country
is just
Inn.
Yeah, there
hungry.
it is.
No, not Candy Country.
Okay, Canyon
it had,
Country.
like-
Good to know.
Yeah, it had like... yeah, it is a little blurry. It had like lighthouse wallpaper, lighthouse pictures. It was... Again, it felt like a slice of home. I was like, we're home. We're in Rhode Island. I'm so happy.
We have to leave.
Yeah.
And then the bathroom had this like really cool red light.
Oh yeah, it had a heat light. It had a heat lamp.
Huh. Cool.
So if we were lizards, we would have loved it. Anyway, so we stayed the night there, got up in the morning, checked out, or checked
in, then checked out.
Yeah, checked in, immediately checked out, got our continental breakfast, grabbed all our bags, went across the railroad tracks to the big hotel there, the one that's for the train.
Grand Canyon
Grand Canyon
Railway.
Hotel.
Grand Canyon Railway Inn. And
Nice.
we left our bags with them because they were nice enough to watch them. And then we got on our train behind F40s, which was a disappointment only because the other email that I received was, because of drought conditions, we will not be running steam today.
Aww.
We were supposed to be behind the steam engines.
We
heading up-
literally planned our whole trip around this.
Yeah. I was a little bit frustrated. I was sitting in the lounge car staring blankly out the black windows as we crossed Arizona. Oh, I skipped Graham.
That's his punishment for calling you.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's get
Whatever, we
Graham.
saw Graham. He's awkward. It was kind of funny. We were late.
Yes, he is.
And
We gave him stuff.
He
And
gave
he's like,
us
how
stuff.
am I supposed to hide this from my mom?
Oh, yeah, because he didn't tell his, mom or whatever that he was actually meeting with real human beings.
Why?
He doesn't know we exist. He doesn't know any of us
His
exist.
mom doesn't know that this group of people exists, so therefore we do not exist. So the stuff he got somehow magically appeared
Yeah.
out of nowhere.
A packet of Dell's lemonade from Rhode Island magically appeared
I think
for
I
him.
still have mine somewhere.
Good. Oh my god. His reaction was priceless. So we gave everyone packets of lemonade mix to make their own Dell's frozen lemonade.
And then something a little bit special.
Yeah, so Milky got Trolley Ninja Urban Directory,
I have
which is
it right
something I've been
next to me.
which is something I've been sitting on for years, basically. I've had it. And I've been like, I need to give this to Milky, but I never saw him in person. We gave Graham a book called Read This If You Want to Take Good Pictures. We got Mason a book called This Road Sucks and Other Road Signs.
And then we got the TBA.
Oh my god,
We
TBA
got him a raptor
from Build-A-Bear.
from Build-A-Bear. But the
Awesome.
special part about the raptor is what it says.
Yeah, instead of giving it like a phrase like "we love you" or whatever, we recorded his death scream from the episode of Factorio. It was the greatest thing.
And we gave it, and Ellis gave it to him by squeezing the foot.
Yeah, I squeezed the foot, which activates the sound, and he was just sitting there cracking up in his car.
And
Yeah.
we named it Tuba Avenger.
Yes. Anyway, so
Oh my god.
we did see Graham. We saw him for all of 20 minutes. He gave us some stuff. He gave Madison an Erie caboose. He gave me
Nice.
a PRR lighter and
What's wrong
a
with
Grand Canyon Railway boxcar. And
Nice.
I was very grateful for that. I finally unwrapped it, and I was going to take it to the PN, but there was an operating session this weekend, so I decided to leave the non-prototype stuff at home. Most of it, at least. Yeah. Which, during that operating session, I immediately screwed up the instructions and had to run an extra to bring more cars up to us. So, anyways, I'm a little bit
Okay.
out of practice, and I hope they're not too upset with me. Anyway, Albuquerque. We went to Albuquerque. We saw Graham. We tried to get a postcard. We succeeded in getting a postcard, but we almost didn't.
I never mailed it.
Because we were we were waiting in a line, and they called last call for the train, and so I threw down 35 cents on the counter, 37 cents actually with tax, and said we're buying a postcard, and we ran out. We were still not the front of the line at that point, but anyway,
All right.
yeah,
cut the line.
and so yeah,
Oh, okay.
and so it was a combined McDonald's and gift shop. And yeah, then we got back on the train and continued. Then we went to the Grand Canyon. We saw the world's dumbest horse run straight to a barbed wire fence. And yeah, no, it was not great, but
Oh, jeez.
but yeah,
Terrible.
we watched it just crash into this fence, stumble over, get back up, and keep going like nobody saw that.
And then I became a hobo in the train station. I slept
Why?
on the bench.
Oh yeah.
I pulled up I was tired, and our train was like 4 hours late.
It was 2 hours late.
It felt like 4. Anyway.
It would be 5 later.
So,
We're in Flagstaff. Fast forward to getting back to Flagstaff.
and I'm late, and I'm tired, and so I take out my pillow, and I lay down on the wooden bench, and I take out my blanket, and I put the blanket over me, and I pass out on
Yeah,
the
she passed
bench.
out immediately. And so I was just like, okay, and I just sat down next to her and like guarded the stuff. And also, coming full circle immediately, like 3 days into the trip, they were playing episodes of Star Trek the original series on the TV at the
Yes.
station.
Oh my god.
And I was like, I just
Yeah.
saw the prop! I was so happy. Anyway.
Yes.
Did you
Yas.
see the steam engine in front of the Flagstaff station while you were there?
There was a steam engine in front of the Flagstaff station?
No.
I did not see one.
Okay. Yeah.
And then we fast forward to
Oh yes, no. So we got on the train, finally, when it got there. And then train rocks us to sleep, and then
it's 4:30 in the
yeah,
morning.
and then it's 4:30 in the morning, and I wake up. You were still asleep. I woke up. I look out the window and it's pitch black, empty, nothing. I'm like, where the hell are we? We're
There's
nowhere near
no
civilization.
power.
Yeah,
Welcome
the
to
train power's
GTO.
off. The train power's off. No, the train power wasn't off yet. So we were stopped. Then we started again, crawling at like 10 miles an hour or so. Then we stopped again. At this point, she wakes up.
It's
You-
5:30.
Yeah,
in
it's
the morning.
5:30 in the morning.
And I'm like, where
And I asked her
are
to
we?
hand me my phone, which was like on the other side of her.
And
So I
we
checked.
realize we are stuck in the middle of the Mojave Desert.
Yeah. So like we're
Almost makes you
we're-
wish for a nuclear winter.
yeah, we're west of Needles in the Mojave.
Noodles.
Stopped.
Ugh.
Waiting for the sun to come up basically, and there's no power in the train, which means no AC. And so we're sitting there trying to figure out what's going on, and this dude comes in.
Dude.
He's like, for reference, he's like, loud, gangster,
Yeah.
black.
Yeah. This dude comes in and immediately starts chatting it up loudly with his friends towards the back of the coach.
Like, yo, we're stuck in the Mojave Desert.
He's like, engine down, guys, engine
Engine
down.
down.
And meanwhile, there's another woman, which is, woman with her kids who are trying to sleep, and just starts like, shut up, shush, 6 in the morning. Can you not talk so loudly in here? And he's just continuing
Pissed.
to yammering to his friend. He wasn't really pissed. He was just sort of cracking jokes at the situation, whatever. But again, being rather loud in a coach at 6 a.m.
Did you tell them about the temperature?
Well, okay. So I checked the temperature because the sun is starting to come up. I was like, what's the temperature going to be in Needles? Because it's going to get real hot in this car if we're in the desert.
117 degrees.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Get cooked.
I was like, I hope they get these engines back on the train soon. Because what we found out was engine number 3, which was put on our train because we had a private car, 2 private cars in the back. Ex-California Zephyr cars, if I recall correctly. Which we can hear their generator chattering right away. It's like they have AC right now. We don't. And
They're sitting there back there in their AC sipping tea looking forward
Yeah,
at the rest of
exactly.
the train. The Coleman
Yeah.
phone seems to have me having a bit of trouble.
Yeah.
How to get hated.
anyway, so we find out the 3rd engine, which was added because Amtrak wanted insurance because we had private cars, died. And didn't just die like it stopped working, died like the motor's locked up and it won't move. So we had the reason we were going slowly is because we were dragging it.
We ditched
died like
it
the
in the
engine
middle-
welded itself and it's
Yeah.
gone.
So we ditched it in the middle of the Mojave Desert.
Yeah. So what we had to do, because we couldn't take it with us, is drag it until we got to a siding and then leave it there. Which was
And then
confounded.
we waved back to it, bye ice cream!
Do you remember that from the Strasbourg train? Bible?
Goodbye ice cream?
There was a
There was a
little.
little kid, and they were
Oh,
little kids, and they
yes!
were waving at the cows, going, "Bye, ice cream!"
Yes, I do. I do. Over at the farm crossing.
Yes. Hi, ice cream.
Bye ice cream.
So I thought we were leaving
Hi,
the Dash 8
hamburgers.
behind because we had a P-42, a Dash 8, and another P-42. But we left the 3rd engine behind because that was the one with the problem. And then we just sort of continued on. But by this point, we're 5.5 hours late, and I'm like, we're not making our connection in Los Angeles. with the Coast Starlight because
We
that's
had to go to Bakersfield.
so that's a tight because that's a tight connection. So yeah, we had to go to Bakersfield. The backup plan is they put you on a bus, send you to Bakersfield, put you on the San Joaquin, and send you to Martinez, where you will meet the Coast Starlight because you get there way before it.
Which we just barely got there because that other train that's supposed to get there way before it was a
No.
half hour late.
No. It was, I figured it out. It was another bus of people from our train. It was, so normally they send 2 buses, but the 2 buses were totally booked up with people from our train that needed to make that connection. So they had to add a 3rd bus, but the 3rd bus wasn't there, so they had to wait till the 3rd bus showed up, which was half an hour. So we get to the train, the San Joaquin, that's going to take us to meet our Coast Starlight, which is on time, way ahead of us. And we have to wait for the 3rd bus of people to come in. So
Wait, on an already crowded train.
yeah, on a train that was basically
Standing room only.
yeah, standing room only, basically sold out. So they jam all of us in the San Joaquin. They book it to Martinez, and they get us offloaded there. And it's about 10 minutes, and then the Coast Starlight shows up, and we get on the train. We get on the train, and honestly, this was leading on the best couple segments that we had, just for their own merit. Went to sleep, woke up, went through Klamath, and I was like, hey, I've been here. And I took a picture of the depot because I was like, I've been there. And then we headed out towards Eugene through Willamette Pass.
Yep.
I keep hesitating. I keep almost calling it Willamette Canyon, but
No.
it's not. Which is a really fun little segment because it's full of squiggles, and you go through like a gajillion tunnels.
We met this nice girl.
We met this girl and her mom, which I think...
The girl's name's Hayden.
Yeah, the girl's name's Hayden, and I made a comment on her shirt, which was a Minecraft shirt, and we might have another resident on the server soon.
Hey.
What?
So,
Pretty
because we
good.
got to talking, we just hung out in the lounge car for like the whole trip after that, just making small talk.
I have a picture.
Nice.
Send it.
You can if you want to. And yeah, no, that's something to say about traveling by train is you make friends. Like
Right.
you were interacting with the people around you.
Yeah.
It's gonna happen.
Plane, you're in a tube going like 500 miles an hour.
Yeah, the way I put it was, in a plane, you sit down, put your headphones on, and try to pretend you're not sitting next to people.
Right.
And
Train,
in a car,
you enjoy it.
you're in a car. In a car, you're in control of who's with you anyway. So you're not meeting anybody new, probably.
Yeah.
Well,
Probably.
Unless you pick up the odd hitchhiker.
And on a
I
boat.
got you $1.
And on a boat, you're busy being terrified, right, Wybold?
Yep.
And
Yeah.
none of
On a
us
boat,
just
you're just
out there
like
about
in
it.
the lav the entire time going, ah!
Or you're like, oh, get your towels ready, it's about to go down. I'm on a boat. But we had a grand old time.
Oh, yeah.
We missed our opportunity to have food in there, on that train, unfortunately. But where'd you put it? Okay.
I'll get the picture, but
Oh, I got it. Yeah, these two. This was a great couple to be hanging out with. Anyway, they no. So then we got off in Albany, and we were about an hour behind, so it was cutting our time short. I was not the happiest, but it was
No, you're
okay because Milky picked us up, and then we
In my
had
car.
awesome pizza.
I ate half of it. I have a piece.
Yeah, she had half of mine, but it was
Oh
good.
my
It was
God.
really good.
I'll
It
try
was-
and get a picture of the place.
Yeah, it was this thin hard crust pizza, and it was in what, the Albany Electric Railway Depot?
Oregon Electric Railway,
Oregon Electric Railway. Okay, thank you.
and I
Um,
even pointed out in the road the tracks are still there under the road.
Yep, they're just paved over.
Yeah.
So I have a picture here. It's in the photo dump group of Milky and myself and Madison hanging out at the depot, but you can see Albany Station in the
Yep.
background there. I don't know why all the text is inverted. All the text
I
is
don't
reversed.
know either. I had my SP in Oregon specs or not.
But like, so just as a reference to those people who don't know, if you're in coach, there's no showers on the train. So
Yeah.
if you're on the train for like 4 days straight, you don't get to shower for like
It's
4
stink-
days
you get
straight.
stinky. But
So when we got to our next segment in California, we were happy to be up at 6 o'clock in the morning so that way we could take a shower.
yeah, we had TBA pick us up and immediately take us to his house to shower.
Mm.
But we hung with Milky.
stink.
He, did an awesome like burnout for us in his car. He took us to get great pizza, and then we hung out at the station.
accidental one.
Yeah, exactly.
My car.
Yeah, and then we took us back to the station because we didn't have all that much time. I wish we had had more, but I got to give him.
For reference that we ate in.
I got to give him the book, and that's all that mattered. We get to meet you in person.
My mom.
Are we the first other horsemen you've met in person?
Yeah.
Awesome. I feel very exclusive. Because it wasn't that way with Graham, of all people. Mason had met us before, though.
It's a very pixely pitch.
TBA was like...
TBA was excited.
TBA cried when we left.
Yeah.
Did he really?
But, yeah, he did. And
Cuba.
okay, so we get back on the train. Train was on time. It ends up being late, but it ends up being on time again. We go through the pass again. Still spectacular.
And this was the least exciting train we've had.
Least exciting in that nothing went wrong.
Wait, we forgot about flamboyant guy.
Okay, no,
This
that was
tra-
this train.
this train.
That was this train.
This train.
Okay, so like I said, we had some great crews. But this was, aside from Whitney, this was the first standout person. And it was a dude who was boarding us on the train. He was one of the conductors, and he was 0% straight. Okay, there's a 0% chance he's
Yeah,
like women.
he's married and has 4 kids.
Yeah, apparently he's in a family of 6. So I don't know.
Adoption.
Take it with a grain of salt. But just he was, oh hi you two. You guys are gonna sit in these 2 seats and whatever. And he was great. And then he came around and he took our time for dinner, which is the first time we got to eat on the train.
Yeah, and then when we were leaving the train, he was like, he woke us up at like 6 in the morning.
We were actually
like,
already
hey,
awake.
We're here.
Yeah, we were actually already awake, and so he's coming down the coach like checking tags to see who's getting off
He's
of
like,
the
oh
stop.
yeah, guys, by the way, you're here.
He's like, oh, this is you. And I was like, oh, okay, yeah, I know, we're here. And
I would hate waking people up like that.
I know, it's gotta suck.
Yeah.
But we were already awake because I woke up, I checked the M tracker, and I was like, how late are we? Oh crap, we're pulling in. So I just had us gather our bags real quick and get off the train, and then TBA's there. But yeah, no, this was the first meal we had on Amtrak. Pretty good in the dining car, not bad. I had steak. I really enjoyed it. I did. And the burgers and the steak I can recommend.
Does it cost
there was
extra now for the dining car?
Well, it's always cost. You always had to pay for dining car service if you are in coach.
Oh,
If you are in a sleeper car, it's included.
I might get a sleeper then.
Yeah, I feel like the sleeper's worth it for the really long segments.
Yeah.
And we only know this because
Like-
we had
like-
one.
Yeah, like for the Chief or the Zephyr or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
So-
Zephyr is definitely worth having not the Zephyr, the Chief is definitely worth having the roomette because a lot of it you kind of want to just sleep through.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ellis Madison, you can confirm there's a lot of cool stuff to see on the Chief, and then there's just a lot of flat.
Yeah, but it's the same. I
But
feel like
for us, flat is like
flat's weird.
incredible.
Yeah, flat's weird for us.
That's
So I
true,
was like,
actually.
It's
You guys
it's
didn't grow
incredibly
up
flat.
You guys didn't grow up with the endless sea of Kansas immediately east of you.
Yeah, exactly. We just got
Or
endless
the-
C period.
And
Or
here's
the
the thing, I
giant-
slept better
Or the
in
giant
the
sea
coach.
of corn.
I slept better in the coach seats than I did on the beds.
That's because you were overheating with your blanket.
Well, there's that, and that bed was like,
It's very thin. It's not a very comfortable bed necessarily.
I was sleeping on the seats. The seats converted into a bed, and then he put a mattress on top of it.
mattress, quote unquote.
It's like if you've ever been to camp and you put a cot mattress on top of it
Oh, one of
One
the.
time.
from
bet
like
Canada.
the 1800s.
Oh,
The
okay.
the top bunk is a little bit more comfy, but the top bunk doesn't have a window when you're downstairs in the
And it's a
Superliner.
coffin.
Yeah, well, yeah, the dining attendant, which again we had a great crew on the Zephyr,
And we had Lonnie.
and we had Lonnie. Okay, so fast forwarding, so we went to the California State Railroad Museum. That was really cool. We got to see number 2, which is their little Plymouth pulling Rosie around.
And now
Which is
you
number
get to
10.
show the pictures.
And now I
I
can show that.
asked
What?
TBA if you saw the Impursuable at the California State Railroad.
Impursue. Oh, the little guy.
You
Yeah,
get to
what?
show. You get to show those
The little-
pictures.
The little feller.
Go down.
No, I'm not. There's no reason to show these pictures.
I
We also went to San Francisco and rode a cable car.
We went to San Francisco and we played this game called Operation City Quest. And so some of the things you had to do were challenges. So I took pictures of TBA and Ellis doing weird things. For example,
Pretending we're in a rock band.
Being in a bullfight.
Yeah.
Ellis was a diva.
Yeah. So,
TBA was a dragon.
What is this
whatever.
called?
Operation City Quest.
It's available
Operation
for most
City
major
Quest.
cities, and it's like a scavenger hunt combined with doing weird things in public.
I'm writing this down. That sounds fun as shit.
It is really,
Interesting.
it was really cool. I will admit.
But there
pretty
was
cool.
not enough, like, it's the same, there's only like 10,
It's like city-specific things. There are not many
Oh.
city-specific things, which is the thing that's disappointing to me.
but you get a guide, so someone will text you, someone will text you 3 guide questions, and other than that, you don't need that guide for anything unless you, like, get stuck on something.
hmm
Like,
But it's interesting. I don't know. I thought it was cool. But anyway, so then we get right when we're leaving TBA's house. I decided
as soon as we're leaving.
I decided to call up Amtrak because we deliberated on that before, and I'd called them previously to ask how much is an upgrade to a roomette. And they said, okay, so to get a roomette, because for the 2 of us, I think it would just be 1 roomette. You'd just pay once. Is about $300. It was $314 to get a roomette, which is the 2 beds and you share a bathroom. With
And a shower.
with the coach. Yeah, there's a shower down there. Everything it's not bad. And the roomette, for those who don't know, it starts off with 2 seats facing one another next to the window, and it turns into a lower and upper bunk. So it's pretty cool, I will admit. And it was. I called them up to see if we could get compensated for the trouble we had on the Zephyr, not on the Zephyr, on the Chief, including the lack of dining car and the being stranded in the desert and missing our connection. And the lady said, well, we don't normally compensate people in the middle of their trips because we don't know what's going to happen after that, but I will compensate you in this case if you agree that you will not call back and try to use this trip again, like, for compensation. So it was basically, no matter what happens after this, I can't compensate you more if I compensate you now. And I said, you know what, that's fine. I wasn't probably going to get compensation anyway. What else can go wrong anyway? So, give us the roomette.
Famous last
Yeah,
words.
I shouldn't have said that. But give us the roomette. And so she did. And it was awesome. And I will not say anything lewd on this podcast, but it was awesome. And
You own a roommate now?
yes, many times over. And
Okay.
now we also had the attendant. So
Lottie!
the other thing you get when you're in a roomette is an attendant who turns your room up and down depending on whether you want the seats or the beds. Who comes around. He doesn't take your order, but he lets you know when your order is going to be taken for going to the dining car, because that's a reservation system usually, for dinner at least. And also, he's in charge of keeping the car clean, keeping you happy. Like,
He's basically like room service for a hotel.
yeah, except he comes, well, not really.
Or maid.
I say he comes with the roomette, but he doesn't really, because you
He
should
comes
tip him.
with the roomette. I'm just picturing a guy in a little, like, plastic wrap thing.
His name was George.
His name was, yeah. I wanted to ask him
Was
if
his
anybody...
name actually George?
No,
Ellis?
his name was Lonnie.
Oh, okay.
I wanted to ask him because he was a black guy working as, a car attendant. I wanted to ask him if he ever got called George, but I didn't get the time to pull him aside. He was always busy. He was usually cleaning.
I don't
that
get
one
the
would
joke.
go over too well. It's
Well,
not a
I just
joke.
wanted to...
That was the best part. We always had clean bathrooms.
Yeah, well, I wanted to ask him not to be like, George, because you're black. I just wanted to be like, does that happen? And, to know, which I assume he would know about that history. But if he didn't, just
I'd
ask him about
assume.
it,
But here's the other thing. The car, like, half the time smelled like
Oh, yeah.
sewer.
So we were behind the
And-
dormitory car, which apparently wasn't venting its bathrooms
And
properly.
then the bathrooms broke.
Yeah, and then our
Lovely.
bathrooms broke. So the bathrooms in all of Amtrak stuff are actually powered by a vacuum system, and apparently it's kind of finicky. So, it's like, be nice to the bathrooms or else they'll break and you'll have to go to another coach, which happened to us eventually.
Nice
But
bathroom.
it wasn't the end of the world because it was only like the last day. And the shower still worked. So,
The shower
Anyway.
was nice.
yeah, having the shower was nice. But yeah, so we also had a dude come on in Sacramento from the Railroad Museum who stayed on until Reno, and he narrated the journey in the lounge car.
Oh, nice.
It was really, really cool. And, then, we went through the Sierra Nevadas, and then we went to sleep, and we woke up in the desert again. Outside of Salt Lake City, picking up an engine that had been left behind by a previous Amtrak train. Because apparently Union Pacific didn't like that engine for whatever reason. I don't know what the whole story is. Apparently there was nothing wrong. Allegedly there was nothing wrong, but UP wouldn't let it continue, so they had to leave it behind. This was the California Zephyr that had gone through a few days before us, and it got so late that the one from the following day almost caught up to it.
Jeez.
So...
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, so there's that. But anyway...
Like how do you get days late?
Ask via rail.
Yeah,
Right.
carefully. Very carefully.
The opposite
Hey.
of carefully. But anyway... Damn, I've tried to get through this stuff, but it's been so... We've gone through... It's been... Wow.
Well,
taken forever.
Maybe for this, should we... We can finish the story if we were to skip, like, Loco Versus or something.
I mean, we're almost through. Because we're on the California Zephyr, it's the second to last segment. We had food, it was pretty good. Dining car attendants were great. That was a time where we had a great staff. Got to Chicago, again, kind of late, oh well. Hung around a little bit, played Pokemon, and then we got on the Lakeshore. Then we got in the Lakeshore Limited, and I was like, all right, Lakeshore Limited should be fine, no problem. Last segment of the trip, and they go, okay, we're going to be waiting a half an hour because the Empire Builder is late and we've got a lot of transfers. We've got a lot of connections.
I got this. We watched a 2-hour movie before the train started moving.
Yeah, but you missed the kicker,
Yikes.
which is we waited the 30 minutes, then we waited 30 minutes, and everyone got on. Then we started to move. We made it about 50 feet, stopped, and
Jeez.
found out, and the engine was broken. So we had to wait for them to try and fix that engine or work up another engine to get us going, and that was another about 2 hours. Yeah.
We watched Wild Wild West.
We watched the entirety of Wild Wild West. We watched 3 movies on the trip. The first one was 587, of course.
My choice.
Her choice. Second one
Kentucky
was
Steam
Sound of Music.
Sound of Music, also her choice. I'd never seen it, though. She hadn't seen 587. And I was like, no, it's bad. And she's like, but I want to see it. And I was like, all right,
It's
fine.
so bad.
Did
It's-
she
it's-
like it?
I love it.
Yeah,
I want to
it's-
see it
Why?
just to see how bad it is.
It's so
So
bad,
bad.
but it's so
I'll
bad,
get you the
but
link
it's
for it.
just uplifting for foamers.
It
Like,
is. It's uplifting.
you get-
where
If
is
you
it?
get over the bad writing and the bad acting and the
Well-
bad plot,
I
like,
don't know. I didn't see any of that. I just thought it
yeah,
was
that's
really
because you're
good in
blind to
general.
that.
I don't. Hey,
Peter.
Why?
it was good.
It was not good.
No,
but it
it's-
was.
no, it is not. It is really not.
It's bad.
That'd
But
be
it's-
like calling Airplane bad.
No, it's not because
No,
the airplane
it's
is like that on
not.
purpose.
Airplane's a parody.
Airplane is brilliantly written, has pretty good acting. It
Yeah.
doesn't have the budget of a ham sandwich.
Okay, so that would be like
Doesn't
calling
have
this
the budget.
podcast bad.
Yes, this podcast is bad.
Anyway, not gonna dispute that one. First of all, second of all, it's so uplifting for foamers because you get to see them save the
I'm
engine.
not a foamer.
And I will. Yeah, but you were uplifted, so therefore you are now.
I'm not a foamer.
Yeah, you are. Anyway,
Do you trespass to take pictures of trains?
No.
Good, you're not a foamer.
Yes.
yeah, but she has trespassed and has taken pictures of trains.
But
Just
not,
not
together.
She hasn't done them together because we haven't had the opportunity. Last time we trespassed, we got arrested.
587 has a 6.2 rating.
Or we didn't get
Seriously-
arrested, but we got
Seriously,
stopped.
don't do it.
Oh my
Uh,
God,
Like if you guys, no, if you guys like
arrested.
are, no, like if you guys are, with me for the Ohio State thing, and you trespass, then I don't even know.
Whatever.
I don't know
Uh,
you.
Spoiler. No, I'm not gonna rat him out.
Okay.
I'll wait till we're off the air.
Guess what? Trespassing is easy. Anyway,
Don't
Oh.
try that at home.
no,
Please.
well, you can't trespass
Please.
at home. You gotta go somewhere else to do it.
Don't try trespassing.
Like Plymouth
wanna
Falls.
bet?
Wait,
Hey.
Is that a challenge? I'll trespass in my own house.
Anyway, so we get on the train. Yeah, we watch the entirety of Wild Wild West, and I will admit that at the frickin' at at the climactic moment of 587 where they get the engine out of the yard,
Yep.
it's like the first climactic moment, I almost cried. And so that's why I'm like, it's a bad movie, but at the same time, you can pull so much emotion
Funny
from
enough,
it because
that
it's like,
actually kind of happened to real life too.
yeah, I know.
Yeah,
Because it's like,
the
they
thing I
did
just
it, they
posted.
did it, oh my god.
That's because I was like that.
No.
Yeah,
I was like, oh
No,
my god!
I was. You were like, yay! You were foaming, and I was
Foaming.
like, trying to
I was
make sure you
not.
did. You did.
I was not.
trying to make sure you didn't see me almost crying.
Fangirling and foaming are two different
When
things.
it's over a train, it's not.
It's true.
No.
And it wasn't over the train, it was over the people.
Right. Right.
I wasn't like, oh my god, this train is adorable.
No, you were like, oh my god, they saved it.
Yeah, because
Yeah,
it was
exactly.
the act of them
Of
saving
saving
it.
the train.
But
All
I
right, we're
wasn't
not having this
foaming
argument
over
right
the
now.
This is
Anyway.
no, this is funny. Continue. This is the best
Anyway.
material we'll ever get on this podcast.
Kentucky
Keep it
Steam
rolling.
Corp in a nutshell.
Anyway.
Yeah,
Anyway.
made better by the fact that that locomotive was just very recently almost doomed and then saved.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll,
So
we'll
it is-
cover that later.
It's
Yeah.
And then that's
Hopefully.
where I end.
That's where you. Well, yeah, and then we rode the Lakeshore Limited back home. I slept through all the things I wanted to point out, including Buffalo and Cleveland.
Buffalo.
And then,
And
Come on
Nebraska.
down to Cleveland, yeah.
well, I slept through Nebraska on the California Zephyr, and that was my goal. I was like,
Why?
I hope I sleep through the entirety of Nebraska, and
And I brought
did
him pancakes when he didn't want pancakes, and he ate them anyway because we missed.
because I was hungry.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Why'd you want to
great
sleep through
girlfriend.
Nebraska?
because
Because it's Nebraska.
why would you want to be awake for Nebraska?
there's nothing interesting there.
People
What do
have
you
different
mean,
tastes.
Well, this is
Okay.
where I say my farewells.
You have to go.
Well, no, but I do have to go upstairs and finish getting ready.
Oh, okay. You're gonna be late. You're gonna get in trouble.
Yup.
But it's not your fault.
Doesn't matter.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
I can explain that situation later.
Okay. Anyway.
All right.
So, good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Hi, Madison. Nice having you on.
Night.
Anyway. So,
He's almost ready.
let me switch my headset now. Alright, so that was that. The only other major thing we had is we had two people get on in Springfield that had been in a bus crash and had trekked through the woods to, oh yeah, that was fun, but
We're walking through the woods.
yeah. Well, there was no one around and their phones were dying, actually.
yeah.
Hmm.
Dying.
And
Yeah,
Sorry
anyway.
Buff was in the woods, in his cabin.
Alright, anyway, what are we doing this week? Do we have links for it yet? Because it's, I could talk about the Amtrak at some point more later, more details and stuff, but it's time to move on. Very, very much time to move on.
Okay, hold on.
Oh wait. Somebody posted one in the guest list that we could do.
Yeah, I know, but Dean gets picked.
Okay.
Yeah, SLS. Yeah, St. Louis and
Frisco.
Frisco, 1351 versus. I have the
German boy.
copy.
Versus a German thing.
1351 versus Deutsche Reichsbahn Class 41.
I'm gonna have to.
Okay.
Oh dang it! I thought you were gonna say 587.
Deutsche Reichsbahn Class 587.
587.
I am bringing 587 next time.
Kyle,
Okay,
587.
it's fine.
Bike Trail Destroyer 9000.
Bike Trail Destroyer.
okay, I found the picture of the other thing.
Alright,
Next
please
time.
send pictures of
Thank
these
you,
locomotives.
Seaboard.
They're in chat.
Oh, okay. I didn't see them. I didn't see them as pictures.
Oh,
Alright,
yeah.
there's the
wait.
Frisco boy.
We had the Frisco on before, right?
I have no idea. Ask
I
the
think-
performers.
I swear we did.
But
Yeah, we did. Because I remember the light thing by the stack.
yeah,
whatever
the
that is.
smoke light.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right. We had a whole argument about that.
Yeah. It's still stupid, but it's funny.
Also, viewers vote whether or not that the act of being excited about them saving 587 in the movie is
Yeah.
filming or not.
Please comment
Slash
down.
discuss.
Yeah, please comment. Anyway, alright, so we've got these two boys in for this. SLSF 1351 versus DRB 41 class. Who's representing what?
I have the page open for the DR.
All right.
I would say Weibold should support the German thing, but I don't want to give
Everybody
Weibold that kind of,
would die.
I don't
Like,
want to
I
give
don't-
Weibold that kind of power.
I don't mind.
Also, where'd Weibold go?
He died.
Oh. Well, okay.
We
can start
didn't do
without him
the. No, we didn't do the thing.
Dang.
Oh, that's right. We need to do the thing.
What time is it, guys?
We don't know. He's not here.
It's time for silence.
Because this is filler.
Yeah, no, we're not doing it without him. Why did he have to disappear now?
Yeah, we need him.
God
Should we
damn it,
just-
Weibold. We had like an hour for him to disappear.
I could
Get it
disappear
out.
during the
Die.
trip talk. Anytime.
And now we need him. It's Murphy's Law.
Okay, well,
So anyway, the
I'm
guys
ready.
that got on at Springfield, right? They had been in a bus crash. A semi ran into the back of their bus. They were trying to get back to college in Syracuse. And so, they ended up leaving the site of the crash because they were going to have to wait for hours and hours for another bus to show up. And then, left the side of the crash, started walking through the woods off the highway until they could find a place to get an Uber. And meanwhile, their phones were dying. They come out in this residential neighborhood, get some weird looks from the populace. And, then, including a lady that was tending her garden that offered them beer.
Beer.
And they're not 21. And they were like, should we take advantage of the
What's
situation? And then... Yeah, so then they finally managed to get an Uber with like the last of their battery power on their phones, got to the Springfield station, and wouldn't have made it to Boston if our train was not delayed. So they would not have been able to get a ticket if the train was not 2 hours behind, because they would have missed it. So, the only people happy about a late Amtrak train right there. I thought that was
and now they have a
particularly
really
great.
good story.
Yeah, exactly. Now they had an incredible. Apparently, the thing had just hit the back of their bus and like destroyed the engine and the bathroom, and so it had sprayed piss everywhere because it crushed the septic system or whatever is on the bus. And I was like, oh, that's not great. But
I
smelled
could make
okay.
a stupid pun, but I'm not going to.
okay, I appreciate you.
I appreciate you.
I appreciate
Restraint.
you not doing that.
Restraint 100.
Restraint.
Where the hell's
Where's
Weibold?
Weibold?
Where are you?
Grumble, grumble.
Before
Welcome
we
back.
come up with shitty puns,
You can blame it. Oh,
Does anyone want to volunteer to attempt doing locomotive verses without Weibold?
I'll do it.
uh,
I'll do at least the thing.
the thing?
The thing.
Interesting.
I guess it's time for locomotive versus.
Oh my god! No.
You're welcome.
Okay, I'm
Sucks.
curious. I want to know how this sounds. It's time for locomotive verses.
That sounded okay.
That's
Oh,
how
that sounded okay.
It's better. It's better, but
Okay, because I'm not entirely sure how he even does it.
Locomotive versus.
No,
oh,
that was just yelling into the microphone.
Look at this.
Locomotive
oh,
verses.
man.
Wish I could
Anyway.
say it in German, but I don't really know German.
Just
Oh,
say
wait.
it angrily.
Fuck it up.
Locomotive verses. There, close enough.
All right.
I mean,
Smash
moreover,
Smith.
it's kind
I don't know.
of... What?
I don't know.
Schnitzel. I don't know anything else in German.
Hamburg. I don't know.
999.
Okay, I'm gonna look it up. It's
All right, look up what
The book
locomotive
Thief.
versus is.
Wait, no,
and I'm
that's
gonna
not
attempt
German.
to
Oh
take
my
it.
Well, no, it is.
Shake weight.
It's become a disaster.
What the?
Something.
German.
Third Reich.
This is going to be a 4-hour podcast.
Fourth Reich.
Yes, it is.
Locomotive Green G Chen.
What? Just put it in chat.
Locomotive G Chen. Yes.
All right, should we just go ahead and go?
Hold on.
There you go.
Locomotive Chichen.
Look, we're kicking.
I'm trying to summon him more.
Locomotive versus spikes in every language.
Yeah.
I'm
trying to summon him.
Okay.
Okay, well, you do that. Locomotive
He had an hour and a half to disappear.
It was an hour and a half. That did
It
not
was-
feel like
yeah.
an hour and a half.
Edit this out, or
I know, it didn't feel like it either.
Change you. That's a Chinese locomotive.
Alright, anyway, we're gonna start. What should we start on? Who are we starting with?
What's your?
I think-
Okay, Dean, clarify. Am I doing the BR-41 or the 41 class?
the BR-41 or the 41 class.
Like BR-41 or 41 Rico?
Yeah.
I assume BR-41, right?
The 41.
Oh, the
Okay,
41
you
Rico?
switched-
41 Rico is like a modification.
Okay,
Oh, so-
then you should put BR-40 in there.
Wait, which one are you doing?
Milky's doing the 41, but the
Oh, this is cool.
The
looking.
BR-41 or the
There's
41
two
Rico?
Yeah.
41.
There's
I
two
had
fucking
Rico.
41 classes.
Okay, so just the BR-41.
Yes.
That's why I was saying BR-41, because the other one is just 41, and that one isn't.
There's a difference, but there is. For everyone at home that wants to know.
Alright, anyway, okay, I suppose we should give the German the first shot, because they invaded Poland.
Yeah, I was gonna say they started it.
Okay,
Yeah, because they started.
what is your number built?
Number built 7.
366.
Goodbye. See, Kyle.
Goodness gracious. Alright, the Blitzkrieg continues.
Yeah. Quick speed pop.
When were you guys built? I'm curious.
When?
What?
Yeah, when?
1936.
1943.
Okay.
War baby.
You boy.
Technically, well, no.
No. Well, wait, 1936? Yeah.
No, like I thought
No, wait,
that
no.
40
I mean, the war technically hadn't started yet, but they were busy, like, annexing countries.
Yeah, but 1943 is newer.
Germany invades the neighbors.
Yeah.
Then they invade the
No,
neighbors' neighbors.
I'm saying 1943 got the point.
Okay, I get it. Okay, cool. Driver wheelbase.
Driver wheelbase. 18.21.
Garbo 17.
Yeah, why do you have such big wheels for a Mikado?
No.
My, what big wheels
I
you
have a
have.
trap card.
Oh no.
Because I think I'm in the.
Oh.
Okay,
here,
yeah,
and
Dean,
I'm
you
gonna
won.
do
You
this for
continue.
rules.
I didn't. Forgot. Sorry.
Who built you?
No. I
No,
don't
you
know.
don't get to ask questions right now. Shut
Oh
up.
wait,
I
what?
don't know.
Dean gets to ask
Dean
the
won.
questions.
Engine
Oh.
wheelbase.
My bad. Okay, engine wheel.
Yeah.
39.53.
36.9. Ratio of driving wheelbase to overall
What?
engine
The
wheelbase.
higher wheelbase help.
No, higher wheelbase makes it tougher to go around turns. Repeat your numbers, please.
39.53.
Mm-hmm.
36.9.
Yeah, so Dean is more nimble.
Okay. Ratio of driving wheelbase to overall engine wheelbase.
0.46.
Same.
Seriously?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Milky, your turn. Where's your trap card?
Okay, who's your builder?
Briscoe.
Okay, I have I have several. I got BMHE, which built 25. Borsig, which built
Borsig.
73.
Solsig.
Young built 37. Pinsel built 86. Young built 40. Kraus Maffei
Okay, cross my phi. I was like, what's the
Style
trap
point.
card? There we go. Cross my phi. Okay, continue, Milky.
Fun. 21 NBA built 21. Extrude the gun built 37.
Okay. What's
So
your next?
Phi wins.
What's your next move?
Okay. I just wanted to get Klaus Phi out there.
Okay.
What's your driver diameter?
Driver diameter, 63 inches.
Damn it! Same.
Wait,
Rip.
really?
Yeah.
Okay. Weird.
Overall engine wheelbase.
Overall engine wheelbase. Alright, 66.8.
Wait, what?
Yeah, overall wheel.
What did you say it was? 66.9?
Yeah, 0.9.
That's it? Okay. What's yours?
74.16.
Wow. Okay,
How
good.
does that work?
Small tender.
Yeah.
Okay, I've returned.
Yeah,
Alright, say locomotive versus.
I assume we're in locomotive versus.
No.
Alright, good. That was not good at all, but whatever. Yeah, we're in the middle of locomotive versus.
go.
Thank you.
Rip headphone users.
I could hear that one in my headset.
Oh god.
Look, you took your place for the Germans.
Ask and you shall receive.
Yeah, so Milky's in German.
Wait, what?
Alright,
Yeah.
I don't have my chat is not updating for whatever reason. What do I need?
That's okay.
Yeah.
Shit.
We're SLSF 1351 versus the DRB BR41 class.
SL.
Which is a...
Hang on.
Frisco.
Sorry, it's Frisco 1351 versus a
Sorry.
German thing.
Give me a minute. One of the smoke alarms or something is going on. I sit
Oh
back
my
down.
god. All
Uh,
Alright. Whoever's winning, please continue.
I am right now.
Wait, are you?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you just... That's right.
Because
just
I
gave
won
the point.
overall wheelbase.
I gave the point to the wrong person, Terp.
Yes.
Alright, go ahead.
What is your weight on drivers?
We on drivers. 225,600. Oh no.
174,475.
Oof.
Nimbile boy.
What's your tender rotor weight?
207,500 pounds.
166,030.
Ah,
Nimbile.
And give me the point for total engine and tender rate.
Okay. I appreciate you not wasting time by asking it.
for the record, 530,100 pounds.
Half a Q2 boy.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Mine's
Milky, continue.
390,000 for the record. About
Oh,
Okay, I'm back once again. Sorry, the carbon
Yeah.
monoxide alarm was
minimum
going
weight
off.
of whale.
minimum weight of rail, 94.
71.
Oh,
Milky's going for all the points.
And one more time, what do we have? Oh, I suppose it's on the dock, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Deutsche Reichsbahn class.
And we have photos here in the chat. BR41 German versus Frisco 1350.
1351.
Anyway, continue.
No, look, it still has
Or
it.
no, Milky, continue. Somebody
Okay.
continue.
High pressure cylinders.
26 by 30.
Mine is 20.47 by 28.3.
Small cylinders.
So I did that one, right?
You absolutely got that one.
Damn.
Wicked.
Try.
Let's do constructive effort.
Oh.
37,200 pounds.
53,300 356.
Yep,
Here we go.
as I expected.
Now the
Firebox.
Americans are pushing back.
Firebox area.
Firebox area. 174.31 feet.
350.
Yeah,
Goodbye.
Great area.
41.86.
50.3.
Alright, it's tied up again.
Evaporated
Eagle
heat.
screeches as flag
Yeah.
waves in background.
Yeah, advance to the Rhine.
Yeah.
Evaporated heat.
Freedom.
2,186.
3248.
Yep.
Super heating surface.
770.
835. Combined heating surface.
You win.
America!
Alright, continue. 10 to 7.
Evaporative heating surface divided by cylinder volume.
202.43.
What?
Yes!
Because he has tiny cylinders! It's because he has
178.19.
tiny cylinders!
176.19.
Yes!
Because Milky has tiny cylinders. Milky, your
Garbo.
baby cylinders won. Your baby cylinders saved
Your
you.
baby cylinders.
Got huge cylinders. Very
Get the
small.
biggest cylinders.
Got little cylinders.
Thinking about what I can do. I know what I can't do, but
What?
fuck it.
Invade Russia in the winter.
Robert A. Messina's power competition.
9809.
Damn it. 716.
It's how much?
9,716. God damn it.
Oh, I
Wait,
thought
what
you
was yours,
said-
Dean?
I think
9809.
Oh my god.
Fairly close.
Pretty close, yeah. Same was above plus superheated percentage.
12,242.
What?
Yes.
11,770.
Yes.
Ah, yes. Milky
Fourth
being
rank.
small. Milky having small things saves him again.
Oh.
go fourth
Too
rank.
much above, but substitute firebox area for great area. Fuck it, we're going there.
81,900.
God damn it.
Why did you do it?
That was not smart.
50,976.
Oh my god.
Battle of the
Oh,
Bulge
boys.
colonized.
You were poised to take back France. You could have done it.
God damn it.
You had to open a war on
Battle of
two
the
fronts.
Bulge. He was
Yep,
Battle of the Bulge.
colorized.
That were L1.
22,682.
Oh, 13,898.
Okay, power MT.
543.2
Yes.
Carbo.
1,166.47.
Oh my god.
Style points, anyone?
There's more.
I like the paint job.
Oh, I got one. If we didn't do it already,
What?
what is your loco base ID, both of you?
Oh, 8638.
4,316.
What?
Fourth
He
rank.
ties it up with the logo base ID.
How does that work?
Did it get back in the lead with the loco? Oh my gosh, it tied it with the loco base ID.
I threw you above Milky.
Oh,
You're welcome.
Wow.
Trader.
that hurts.
I would not have expected that.
I wouldn't have either.
Oh, ooh. The German thing has sand piped to every single driver.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think that
The
1351
Frisco thing only has 3.
Yep.
That's
Get good,
the
Frisco.
front.
However,
And we have
however,
smoke deflectors.
point for the Frisco thing because Westinghouse air brakes.
Yeet.
Yeah.
That's just an objective win. Screw you.
Yeah.
Screw
Yeah.
you, Europe. Also, the German thing has fenders on the pilot wheels.
Oh, it
Does it?
does?
Interesting.
Does it really?
No,
What the
okay.
hell?
That is a style point. That
No,
is a
that's
real
stupid.
style point.
Interestingly enough, it has fenders.
Effing Germans.
Or splashers, as I think they're technically called on a steam engine.
It's still fenders.
It's also got
But the
feed.
VR
Do you have
fully
feed
one-
water heat, Dean?
Yeah, it's a feed water collar.
Yeah, I see it. It's just sort of a weird bulge on the
I
engine.
can't see
Yeah.
it. What is it?
But so is a German by
Oh, there it is.
it's of it.
Yeah, yeah.
a box.
The little one.
Yeah.
German
I'm
also has
trying
feed water
to
heat.
figure out
Um,
what 41
Do you have an
has.
all-weather cab, Milky? I think you do.
I believe I
might.
do.
It looks like it.
point
Yeah.
to the Frisco thing for knuckle couplers.
Yeah.
No, we're not doing that.
Because
No,
Buffers,
of
man.
objective victory over Europe.
Protective victory, knuckle couplers.
I know, but I gave the Frisco thing a point for having doors, because the German thing does not.
German thing does not. The German thing does have shades over the leading windows, though, which is kind of
Yeah.
cool.
It does.
Huh.
Like what
And a
makes that?
bucket.
Yeah, but the Frisco thing probably has a window shade you can pull down. It looks like it does.
Very
Probably.
few do.
It looks like it does. No, it does. It definitely does.
Where?
Over the window.
Oh, no. I mean the lead window.
Oh, the front window.
Yeah, look at the
Oh.
German thing. It's got, like, actual... It looks like a headlight.
Oh yeah, I see it. Oh,
hood over
okay,
it.
okay. I thought you meant like a curtain.
No.
No.
Yeah.
It also looks like it has a magnifying glass.
Yeah, I know.
Hey,
Yeah.
Dean, when were you retired?
Oh god.
Oh,
You did, yeah.
Early 1952.
Okay, 1986.
oh my god.
Seriously?
Wow.
Yeah, the Germans, the Soviets controlled East Germany and made them run basically whatever they had.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Forever.
And
Hey, I've got a question. Coal capacity, both of you.
Ooh, that's a good one. Coal capacity. Tinder coal 18 tons.
12 tons.
You don't have that much.
Yeah. Water capacity?
10,700 gallons.
Figure out water capacity 8,000.
Yeah. Okay.
974.
Mm.
What else? We need to help the American.
The German cab is like slanted inward for some reason. Like the cab
Because
goes-
loading gauge,
For
probably.
loading gauge.
Probably, yeah, but it just looks stupid.
How
Yeah,
many of
I
you
think it looks
survived, Dean?
Oh,
I don't know, like at least 2.
Many of me.
many.
At least 2 versus many. Very scientific.
Load.
At least
I mean-
2 versus at least 3.
I like how, looking at a picture of the German thing from the side, I like how you could park a car between the tops of the drive wheels and the bottom of the boiler.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. There's a lot of room in there.
Makes it very easy to service, I'd imagine.
The German thing has these weird counterweights, or these weird like bouncing rods on the end of
Yeah.
the cylinders.
Yeah.
Would that be a
That's
style
not-
point?
That's not that weird.
Yeah, it should actually.
Why should that be a style
You think it's a
point?
style point?
It decreases wear on the piston rings.
Okay.
You say
I mean,
It's
so.
also
If we
it's
don't,
also
if we
got
don't want to do it, we don't have to. But I'm just saying, it's not a negative. It is actually a better design.
okay, then yeah, no, I don't think there's anything wrong with it. Also, it does have elephant ears, which is typically a style point.
Typically,
We in the years 1957.
style point for winning the war.
Yes, I was the war.
again with the eagle,
Oh, wait.
and the flag.
Wait! I have an actual style point calling back to previous things
Oh,
with
no.
this engine.
Oh no!
Style point for the smoke light.
Yes,
The fucking smoke light.
the smoke light
what?
is
The smoke light.
the
Oh,
smoke light
what?
is ultimate.
Do you remember the debate with this engine? We were debating what the hell the little thing up by the smokestack was. It's a light so that you can see the smoke in the night
Why would you want to see? Oh, is it? Why would you want to see the smoke?
to see if you're firing well.
Luxury.
Spoiled brats.
Yeah, I know.
Hey.
Y'all.
This is a war locomotive, and it has a
It has a
light.
smoke
See,
light.
look, see a smoke. It's genius.
Okay.
Nice.
Dean,
Anyway.
how many of your
Is
engines
it an oil
won?
burner?
No.
No, it's coal.
Okay.
Look at the tender.
How many of your engines won, Dean?
0.
Many of mine won.
Alright, we need to stop the Germans. We need a better Mikado.
we need to kill Hitler.
Okay, next week I will bring the bike trail destroyer 9000.
By Trail
No, wait. The Frisco engine has like steps like on the boiler.
Jader, you'd better. The Frisco engine has
No,
steps
that's
like on the
the
boiler. Yeah, and the
German.
German thing has a slide to get down from the running board to the pilot.
Slide.
No, like, it has, like, foot holsters.
Yeah.
It is very fun. It is, if you like to be whimsical with our locomotive designs, then,
It's
we're hauling
efficient.
the Blitzkrieg. It's nice to have a little bit of fun, a little bit of a vacation from all of it.
Right.
Jader, you had better beat this thing next week, because I don't want to kill the BR-51. I like German engines.
Okay, I'll find a
Mark
decent
Zero.
Mikado.
If you bring it to me, I will kill it. But
You
I
can
don't.
kill anything. You could kill a Mikado with a Vulcan, knowing you.
well,
You would just have to play it right. You have to play the game.
you have to play
Wait.
the game.
Can
All
I
right,
bring
well,
two bike
wait.
drill destroyer
Are we-
9000?
Are we good?
Style point. I'm American.
One- Yeah, I think we're good.
We already did builder points, and he got it because Kraus.
Wait.
Kraus! Wait, who built you, Dean?
Frisco.
Go.
Oh, okay.
Wait,
I was gonna say, how did Kraus beat anything? But I guess over home built, yeah. Kraus is in fact the locomotive works, so they win.
We put it together in the back.
Yeah, Kraus is in fact qualified to do what they do, so they win.
Yeah.
Nice
Well-
try, Frisco.
What about like bearings? Like those like I've got like journal bearings. Like what are those things on like the German engine?
Probably something
on
better.
which wheel set?
Unlike the trailing buggy, like it doesn't have journal boxes.
No, I suppose if you really wanted a point, we could give you one for journals because they're easier to hub than an internal set axle like that is.
I mean, I'll give him a point for it because we've done that before.
I
There's
was
a
gonna say,
precedent for that.
I think we've done it previously. It is easier to service for hubbing. It's much less of a pain because you have to reach around a journal box rather than the entire wheel.
It's tough to reach around.
I hate it. That happens.
Anyway,
I think the Germans win now.
yeah, okay, so the Germans won this one, but don't worry, we'll invade at Normandy and take over later.
This was the Blitzkrieg.
Yeah,
Yep.
we got scraped.
This is a North African campaign.
Filthy Krieg.
Hi. Oh.
I'm
That's
trying to. Okay, you know what? I just spelled Blitzkrieg right on the first try. All right, so
How did
I'm
you
pretty happy with
spell it?
myself. Properly.
Oh.
I'm
I
happy
didn't get
with
a little
Blitzkrieg.
squiggly line, so it's good.
Did you do EI or IE?
I went IE. Is that
Good.
wrong?
No, it's good.
Okay.
That's Reich.
That's right. Screw you.
This is right.
Anyway, let's do votes
When
now.
we get demonetized for being Nazis.
I'm gonna vote for the Frisco thing because
Yeah.
America.
Racist.
Oh my god.
That's not racist.
How is that racist?
First of all, American isn't a race.
Oh, Southwood, I have marker lights.
I do too, bitch.
He has other lights.
Those kind of marker lights?
Anyway, so I vote for the Frisco. Who else is voting?
I vote for the German thing.
What?
Okay.
Why do you vote for the German thing?
I kind of like. I like it.
Yeah,
I mean, I like the paint job.
that's
Yeah,
good enough
that
reason
job
for me.
is
I'll vote
nice.
for the German thing too.
But the thing is, Germany painted all of their steam locomotives.
I know. I
like
think
that.
it looks cool.
No,
It-
makes them
it
look
does.
like freaking frigate engines.
Great.
They're
Now,
specific.
great. Now I want a model of a German engine.
Like,
My offer for $10 on something that was listed on eBay for $99 was declined.
There was some
And also, there's a kit of it that's pretty cheap.
I forget what it was, but was it at one of the hobby shops around here? There was some like Markland set. I was tempted to buy it. I forget how much it was. I don't know. Next time I'm there, if it's still there, I'll look it up, see if it's any good. Because one of my friends has a bunch of Markland stuff, and it's pretty cool.
Markland. All right. Anyway. All right. So that concludes this episode of Locomotive River.
Episode.
Well, this installation.
Tune in
then?
next week for the Bikes Trail Destroyer 9000.
The Trail Destroyer 9000.
Okay. Anyway.
Then that's gonna be hard for me to go up against.
Anyway. Oh boy.
Watch it become
Do
the
we
right
have-
Trail Destroyer 9000.
The Bikes Trail. Anyway, boy, do we have some news.
Oh boy.
I'm gonna try to get through this stuff, and we can talk about like other stuff that's really meaty in the future. The first thing being that, and this is something I've sat on for a little while, and most of my stuff is going to be Amtrak related. That the Amtrak will not be coming to Mobile. The extension that they were planning for the Southwest Chief, or the restoration, or not the Southwest Chief, of the Sunset Limited, that was lost, a long time ago. Will not be coming back. Oh crap! No. Okay,
What?
thank you, Autoplay Videos. I didn't need that. That was actually really bizarre because I was hearing double. But no, the only one of the states, I believe, was actually going to pony up the cash for it, so that's not happening. Which is disappointing to me because I'm one of the people that's been sort of like, well, you might want to do that at some point. Like, it's been gone for 13 years. Anytime you want to restore service.
Yeah.
Just say when.
To the point where President Bush, right after the hurricane, had said, like, Congress, you have 9 months to figure out a plan. So, still waiting on that plan. But, yeah, so that isn't happening anytime soon. But what is being reopened, this is the one non-Amtrak thing, or one of the couple of non-Amtrak things I could talk about right now. CSX is reopening a hump that was closed under Harrison. This is the Radnor Yard, which is in Nashville. So it's in your neck of the woods. Well,
Yay.
sort of. There's a track map here. And, yeah, so... Yeah, the yard was idled way back when, Harrison decided not to use it. And there's a couple of cool timetables and graphics here, including a map of the yard itself. But they are reopening it. There's a second article which talks a little bit more about it and the reasons for reopening it and the problems that they were encountering with it being flat switching. So feel free to read those, if you want to get deeper into it. Anyway. So, somebody else take the torch for a second. I'm trying to figure out
Well,
the
speaking of
broadcast.
Trail Destroyer, and
Okay.
I'll tell you that. The north end of the Northwestern Pacific has a petition after it to build a trail alongside it, as opposed to on it, because many people want to see this as a tourist railroad, and it has the potential to be, up until the washout that they have, which it currently divides their north end and their south end.
Where is this? Oh, this?
Yeah.
Okay.
Petition, or change.org petition, but still. And I wrote a nice little comment saying, pretty much giving my reasons why it would be best for a well-lit trail. And I used the Western Maryland Scenic and Oregon Coast Scenic as samples of how a railroad and a trail can work together to benefit each other.
Oh, this. Okay, I found it.
Yeah.
I was looking through your links.
Got a rail of a trail to tell you, lad. A rail of a trail or two.
What else have we got to riff off of him. Go ahead, take it away, people.
I don't know if I have anything trail related.
I don't think any of us does.
Yeah, track related.
I
Yes, I do actually have track related. The Manitou and Pikes Peak Cog Railway has decided after some, I should say the parent company of it, which is I think Broadmoor, and the town of Manitou have decided to pony up the necessary cash and actually repair and reopen the cog line.
Yay!
Everybody was so concerned about, oh no, they're closing the cog rail. It needs to be rebuilt, and they were trying to figure out the money, and now they figured that out. So, it should be coming back. Nobody knows when, nobody knows what it's going to look like when it does, but it is coming back after these messages.
After these messages.
After these messages.
After
All right.
these messages.
All right. Well, let's see. What have I got? So we have something also that's a little bit in trouble, and this is not Amtrak, which we will again get to. Or maybe I'll leave it for another time and let the situation develop a little bit more because everything's kind of in limbo, and we'll just touch on it. But up in Boston,
Boston.
my neck of the woods.
Where the devil went up to.
We have one of the few places where PCC cars remain in active revenue service, and as in they weren't just instated there as part of a heritage trolley fleet, like in San Francisco, which I did ride on those, and they're nice enough, but where they have been in service since they were first built and put into service. And so that is the Ashmont-Mattapan so-called high-speed, because it's partially grade separated, trolley line, just to the south of Boston. And now, the cars are aging, obviously. They are very, very old. 72 years young, it says in the article. Looking like props in a movie. And in fact, the wordage of the article is actually great. But the MBTA has spent the last year at about $1 million studying the future of the line. It's only about 2.5 miles, but they wanted to see sort of what they could do with it. And the issues with it are you can't run modern cars on it because the turns are too tight and the tracks are too light for that. You can't turn it into a heavy rail system because you'd need to put third rail down, and so you'd need to grade separate it completely, where it has a bunch of grade crossings. And again, that would also require a rebuild. So it has to remain a line on its own, or you could turn it into a busway, which nobody really wants. And plenty of people are campaigning to just refurbish the PCC cars and let them keep running.
I was gonna say, that sounds like the easiest option.
It sounds like the easiest option, but naturally, as they get older, they still get more costly to maintain,
True.
etc.
But you don't really have much of a disruption compared to, like you said, either grade separating and then putting in third rail, or replacing it with buses.
Yeah, or replacing it with buses, which...
Or you could start Friends of the Mattapan Trolley Top.
Yeah. But...
Hey, at least you guys have public transportation.
Yeah.
That, isn't buses.
What, you don't?
Hey, in fact... Oh man, I just deleted this article because I thought we weren't going to be able to touch on it. But but Germany is looking at making all of their public transit free.
Oh, that'd be nice.
For the sake of getting people off the road and onto public transit.
That'd be so nice.
Yeah.
If it'd be nice if we could do that, and also if we had public transit that did
Yeah. It'd be nice to have it in the first place.
Yeah. Basic.
Baby steps.
Maybe. Wouldn't it be nice if we had this free stuff? Wouldn't it be nice if we just had this stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean...
But yeah, you can read more about that, which I think is like a... Which I feel like is sort of a step in a direction of, like... Not necessarily the way it should be, but it feels like it's sort of the way it ends up being. Because public transit, just in and of itself, ends up being an expenditure. And it's like, how much money do we want to make back on this? How much money do we expect to make back on this? And, there are some things which,
especially in today's day and age, it's becoming ever more prominent with everything from congestion to pollution. It just makes so much more sense from an objective standpoint to do public transit, and from a consumer standpoint, it makes no sense. It's expensive, it's slow, it's inconvenient, yada yada yada. by
Well, if it's
fixing
bad.
those things, then we can work to a better.
Yeah.
transit system.
Yeah. So, I mean, if there's anybody that knows anything about efficiency, aside from Japan, I guess, it's Germany. So, also, the other thing...
What's this
mention-
efficiency?
Since we mentioned Japan, I can talk about the other thing that I literally just deleted, which is... Oh, crap, come on now. Nope, it's still in there somewhere. Okay, so... Okay, so anyway, it's in here somewhere, because I started deleting stuff where it's like, oh, we're never going to get to all these things. Japan, and I only glanced at this article, but Japan has spent like 2 years, and the goal is to make this one train line 1 minute faster. 1 minute.
A single minute.
Jeez.
So, being able to
I'm
send
sure
trains
you'll let
between
them-
being able to send trains between the stations at 130 kilometers per hour instead of 110 kilometers per hour is important. It's currently about a 30-minute round trip, so they want to make it a
Now, see, these
29-minute
are
round trip.
transit system goals right here.
Yeah. hashtag transit goals.
A single minute.
1
It's like
minute.
a day.
It's like
Can
a
get a
day,
lot
except
done in a
it's
minute.
not.
Like what?
I don't know.
When we'll tell you when you're older, Dean. Anyway, the trolleys do not use a signal system. Getting back to the MBTA and this talking about it's difficult to gauge the overall quality of the Mattapan line's commute because the MBTA does not track its on-time performance. The trolleys do not use a signal system.
They need semaphores.
Yeah, right.
No,
well, they
no, no,
actually
no.
they did have an
No.
accident. I don't know how they managed that, but they had an accident.
Semaphore.
Wow.
And also the problem is because they're old cars and because they use a what do you call this a trolley pole?
Yeah.
There's huge problems in the winter with the snow and everything, and so. But some riders say they run better than nearby buses or the red line, which they connect to, and
I would be surprised.
usually
PCC
it's-
cars have really good build quality.
yeah. Usually it's
Because I
Just
don't
as
think I've
well.
ever really explained the history of them. A whole bunch of transit companies got together and made the PCC.
Yeah.
It's pretty
There you
much
go.
a transit company's dream car.
so right now the
we love our 450.
Right now, the
Straight up
trolleys are getting an $8 million overhaul, which will improve the propulsion systems and truck beds, which should keep them running through at least like the mid-2020s, which they'll be about 80 years old. So the T is definitely looking at like, what do we do about these cars?
Build,
And some people,
build new PCC cars.
some people are saying,
build new cars.
some people are saying,
Well, you can
That's what
build
I
wet
do.
because of
But
the old
Siemens
ones
doesn't
that
make a
way.
car that looks like that.
well, the
Oh.
problem is,
Buy one.
well, the problem is you can't buy a car that fits the specifications they need
I'm
anymore.
aware.
Yeah,
Build
it's-
one.
Yeah, well, that's the issue. Getting a
It's a rocket surgery.
No, it isn't rocket surgery, but when it's the eyes of the taxpayers, and it's like, well, we spent twice the money that we would have spent on normal cars, on PCC cars, people start going, huh? Like,
Well, yeah, but if you need PCC cars, it's like, well, we spent twice as much money on these cars, but we also, we couldn't just buy the cheaper cars. In order to have bought the cheaper cars, we would have spent $5 million on rebuilding the entire line.
yeah, no, and
It's still
there's
cheaper.
there's definitely sense in there. It's just how does that actually price out, and etc. There's no documents to really look through on this one. They're just thinking about what do we do with this system, and there's a lot of people saying, well, we want to see the PCC cars continue running, and there's a lot of people saying, yeah, but we shouldn't judge the future of our transit system based on nostalgia. We should kind of do it on money sense. So
PCC cars.
yeah,
Or cars that work like PCC cars. Or
Yeah.
look like, I don't know.
something that's light enough.
Yeah, something that works.
Well, at the WST, we have replica Council Quest cars that run off a PCC car gear.
Mm-hmm.
Build
So
a
you can
PCC
make
car
the
that has a
replica.
modern drivetrain in it.
Yeah.
Just
Anyway.
make a historic Boston trolley that has the capacity and put it on PCC.
No.
propulsion.
Build a Bernie car with modern.
No!
Ooh, yes.
We have one.
Hell right there.
It's under a tarp. Actually, no, wait, no, we got rid of the
It's a
burning
tarp.
The tarp.
And you would have to have a if you were using the same PCC cars, it would have one-ended Bernie's, which would be
Weekend at Bernie's.
Build double-ended
Weekend at my
PC.
place.
No, see, I learned today that our 450 car is a double-ended PCC.
Our PCC car is double-ended, but it's a pain in the butt to run in reverse.
Oh, I mean, see, ours doesn't even really run. We just kind of drag it around if we need it for something.
We run ours every now and then.
I don't know, I mean, it runs,
I mean, I can
but
turn on
it
the wire and it will turn on.
yeah. So will ours. It just needs I forget something with the traction motors. I think they're like dead or something.
Yeah,
Anyway,
PCC guy. But anyway, speaking of PCCs, El Paso.
oh yeah,
El Paso.
And there's ads in El Spaniso. So we're gonna try and take this and.
but they're
wait for
getting
it.
Ocarzo.
Yeah.
They're getting Ocarzo.
Still trying
Sorry,
to
that was
take
too
the first
Italian.
of the 6 remodeled PCC cars. 1506 arrived this morning in El Paso.
They got sent to Brookville to get redone.
El Paso.
I didn't even know Brookville still existed as a company.
Yeah.
Like
Why didn't
Brookville,
they have
Brookville?
the fuck?
Yeah, like Brookville, the locomotive builders, Brookville.
Like actual Brookville.
Yes,
Huh.
they
Okay,
sent the PCC cars to Brookville in Brookville, Pennsylvania, to get worked on.
Well, okay then. Good for
They're a
them.
little bit
Hang on.
infamous because they have about 5 dozen PCC cars outside in the weather. as
Oh,
parts.
Brookville.
Texas from Ram.
They're a little bit infamous, but anyways, the city of El Paso sent them 3 of them. And this is the first one to arrive back. So that's
Okay.
good. The Milwaukee streetcar has completed their construction of their waterway, and it's
Yay.
nice. And they hope to start operating sometime in 2019.
Yay. I mean, that's the big hurdle is building the right of way.
Yep.
Yeah,
It's a good thing
South
got that.
Shore. It's this is a viewpoint, but it's off South Shore. It's time for them to return to downtown South Bend.
That's what the people want, or that's what this person wants, at least.
It would in 1970 the South Shore was taken out of downtown and moved to Washington. Now it's time to return the South Shore to downtown. Woods. This new alignment would serve as a transportation hub for Greater South Bend and make the city a destination once again on the South Shore and not just another stop on the way to Chicago. Signs of progress in downtown South Bend are becoming more and more evident as through more recent investments in the area's infrastructure. Berrien Frax is well into its construction. The Renaissance District is beginning to spread its wings, and our streets are getting smarter. There isn't a better time to add high-capacity transit into the mix, directly connecting downtown South Bend with Chicago, one of the largest economic and cultural centers in the country. So
Sure, we'll go with that.
So basically, they want to rebuild it. But
In the area, perhaps we could say in the area.
I just don't know. Oh, I believe it's one of the largest downtown centers in the country. I don't know about cultural centers.
no,
That one, I don't know. Do you?
I can find more culture in my backyard than Chicago.
Ooh.
Do you mean like
Wait, no, you
bacteria
mean South
culture
Bend.
or a culture of violence or a culture of corruption?
Oof.
That's Chicago.
That's Chicago.
Well, anyways, that's
Sorry.
been that.
That's Nashville.
Chicago.
MB3
I apologize, Chicago. Not really.
Chicago is
NBC,
actually quite lovely.
came out with a DLC announcement for Trains 2019.
Yay!
And it's a high-speed,
Frecciarossa.
yeah,
It's an
Uh,
Italian high-speed train. It's the Italian bullet train.
yeah.
I have ridden on one.
Which
They are
makes
great.
Spaghetti.
some sense.
Mixed spaghetti.
no.
No,
Well, anyways,
it's wonton spaghetti.
Spaghetti. No, that's
Anyway,
runs
the
on-
the
nice
catenary
video
wires for spaghetti.
showcasing the interior train, which is really well
It
done.
runs on
and,
marinara sauce and breadsticks.
and it also shows a little bit of a sneak peek of what 2019 is,
So that's the Olive Garden train.
which is really good. But
It's the
unfortunately,
Fizzle
I
flyer.
can't talk about any of it. But anyways, there in the coming weeks we will provide you with further glimpses of the characters and we'll show you a few details.
Yeah,
Which I assume this is the DLC showing off all the new cool Troy 19 stuff. Like the texturing is really good in Troy 19. Props
What?
to MB3.
But the built-in GP40 looks dumb.
you look
it is,
dumb.
It is Garbo.
It is kind of garbo. But you know what? Some of the other stuff in the game isn't garbo.
Yeah, it's like they have really
And
good
that's
stuff.
important.
Yeah, trains. Let's make really good stuff. Also trains. And just throw in a 15-year-old model. New paint. It's good.
Fine.
But you know what's
Speaking of-
better with new paint? Pulse and Noggin number 2.
Number
Because
2.
she's out running on the Oregon Coast Scenic right now.
Who does number 2 work for?
Yeah, you tell him, buddy. You should. Who's the
And the Oregon Coast Scenic also owns a 25-ton diesel now on their property
Oh.
that they acquired from us.
Yeah, I was gonna say they got it from you guys, didn't they?
Yeah. And I'm kind of glad to see it off of the property. It was in the
You're just
way, and its nickname was Little Toots, but in reality it was a little bastard.
Little
What kind of a name is Lil 2?
Little Hitler.
bastard.
Because the guy that owned it is
My
known
God.
for the Oregon Pacific Railroad, and he named it that. He named some things. Anyways, that happened, and number 2 is running, so that's good. I don't have the full text of the article, but I know that it's running, so that's it.
You might want to see a doctor
And they're
about
running
that.
it pretty regularly.
Your number 2 is running regularly.
That's bad.
Yeah.
Concern.
Number 2 that runs for more than.
Oh God.
The BN received a grant for a second Idaho Briggs, which is cool.
What did you call me?
What?
The BN, Burlington Norton.
ABBN.
Aben.
Look at the Santa Fe part, it's just Burlington Norton.
Right.
But anyways, they acquired a grant for it, which is good. State's helping out railroads, so it's a good thing.
Yeah, good job, State.
LA Port delays challenge Union Pacific. Mainly because they get delayed a lot. And because it's a shortage of power in rail cars. A combination of shortages of power in rail cars and congesting from new shipping patterns in LA.
Okay, so it's partially the port's fault, but it's also the fault of the railroad because they don't just have enough stuff.
Because they're just seeing this massive demands for intermodal traffic. Especially now that one is a thing, which is Ocean Network Express. And they handle, I'm not quite sure, but quite a bit of the containers nowadays.
Wasn't like a merger between like K-Line and some other shit?
Yeah, it was NYK Line, Mole, and K-Line.
Those
Okay.
are the big one containers, right?
Yeah, they're
Yeah, because I haven't seen one in person, but I've seen like pictures of them everywhere.
they're just purple.
Yeah, they're just big and purple, and they just say one.
And they have white ones too.
Purple people eater.
But Union Pacific will haul all one's containers arriving in LA, Long Beach, Seattle, and Tacoma. I guess it's just nine. Oh, well, I guess it is in LA. But anyways, it's just the normal stuff that happens when you have a big mega merger.
I'm waiting to see
Union
one passed
Pacific
by the
also
club.
had this trouble when they merged the Southern Pacific into their system.
Shouldn't paint so fast.
Plus, they had a whole bunch of people painting SP equipment and SP paint.
Mm.
But anyways, on to but that's quite. Unfortunately, the Fox River Valley Trolley Museum out in South Eugene in Illinois,
Eugene.
it was a great operation. But they recently got broke into
Oof.
by two boys, and they did over $100,000 of damage across
Holy
70 columns.
And they used
You know what? They found
pickaxes.
these guys. For the
They
record,
did.
did you take
They
that
did.
They
one?
did.
Yeah.
Good.
And they should be held responsible for every last cent of damage that they did, but they're not gonna be.
Why?
Because they're
Well,
kids.
anyway,
Because that's a lot of
they're-
money.
It is a lot of money,
Like
and they are
11 and
kids, but I
13.
don't care.
They had set a GoFundMe for the amount, and so far they're at $20,000, which is pretty good.
That's really good. Wow.
Shockingly enough, you dumb little kids, choices have consequences, even really stupid ones, and they might have really big consequences.
They should do the work.
Yeah, but I don't think
There's one.
paying back $1 million is.
Yeah, it's unrealistic. I agree with Milky though. They should have to kick in the work.
Oh yeah, no, I think that's
Yeah.
okay. I just, I'm saying
It is $1
I
million.
feel like holding them
It's-
accountable for $1 million is a little bit absurd because, you don't. Yes, people make dumb decisions. Yes, decisions have consequences. But I don't think a dumb decision you make as a kid should haunt you for the rest of your life.
No.
You know what, I'm going to jump off of this. Onto another dumb decision.
To
Uh-oh.
another dumb decision. I just got a photo from Graham
Oh no.
of the Strasbourg shop.
Oh no! Oh, let's talk about this.
I'm aware. Yep, I know. It's not on its frame anymore.
No,
Again. Yeah. It's just a boiler again.
it's regressing.
Yes.
Go back.
It's just. I think they've just been over the past 10 years taking the boiler on and off the frame to make it look like they're doing something, and nobody's noticed.
Until now.
Someone's
An
noticed.
update video got posted by the Colorado Road Museum on the Rio Grande Southern 20 project. Don't watch; it's a waste of time.
I'm putting it in the cargoes anyway.
Is it that bad?
Now I'm gonna watch it.
No, it's Lynn who's conducting all of the work, who knows what he's talking about, but is a little bit biased and is kind of not addressing the big issues, and our executive director, who is our
A
executive
wonderful
director.
person
Yeah,
that we love. He's a great.
Who's our executive director, who I very much like because he signs my paycheck. I'm gonna leave that at that and just walk away. That's that 20.
Okay, you know what? I'm going back to this dumb decision.
Oh, God.
American Heritage Railways, which owns a few railroads, Mount Rainier.
This was
The
not a dumb
DNS.
decision, by the way, Milky.
It's a dumb decision.
No, it's not.
Fight,
But they
fight, fight.
suspended passenger service through August 3rd on the Mount Rainier Railroad.
Yeah, because they don't have the money to support it right now. The way, for someone who doesn't know how American Heritage Railways works, the
They
way
make
that-
money from the DNS, and they put it
DNS is the
somewhere
cash
else.
cow.
essentially, yeah, the DNS makes all of the money and sends it to other railroads that are in the process of being transformed to make money.
Mhm.
Mount Rainier is not yet at the point where it can sustain itself. It needs a stipend from the DNS, and as well, this other article that I was going to be talking about, everything in Colorado is on fire, and the DNS went from being closed for fire to being back open to being closed for mudslides, and now it's back opened again.
And an avalanche. Don't
The
forget the
DNS
avalanche.
Yeah, an avalanche of mud. The DNS hasn't been
No,
generating
it's gonna be an
enough
avalanche
money
of snow.
to
Just
rest
wait.
of American railroads, all of their holdings. So closures are necessary.
Mhm. Anyway, all right. So
So the SLVS burned down a bridge, but that wasn't their fault, and they caught the arsonist behind the fire.
oh, that's nice. I guess.
Wait,
Um,
arson?
Yeah, one of the wildfires they found out was arson.
Hmm.
Hey, don't do that, okay? Speaking of things that haven't been set on fire, I Actually, I guess it's been strategically set on fire because that's sort of how welding works. Not really.
Strategically.
The third course has been welded onto the second and first courses of the T1 truss boiler. Yeah, so we have a boiler now. And also, on a semi-related note, the prow of the T1 looks like the creature from the... Yeah, the tar monster from
The
Scooby-Doo.
T1 is the tar monster.
Yeah.
Anyway.
It is.
Speaking of things that are green, also, the MBTA is showing off their new Green Line cars, and they're going to begin rolling them out in September. Talking about, new trolley cars. So, we've got a whole bunch of these new cars that are going to be coming out. They've got improvements. They're part of an $8 billion investment into the MBTA. The first new Green Line cars in 20-some years. And they also will have they basically have an internal wheelchair ramp. So if you have a stroller or a wheelchair, it's much easier to get on and off these cars. Which is good, because some of the older cars it was kind of awkward to get on and off, even though they're not that old. They just aren't designed with that in mind. And I witnessed the same thing on like the Superliners and stuff. The staircases on that are tight. If you have a wheelchair or anything, if your mobility limited at all, you're stuck downstairs. You're staying downstairs. So, yeah. Oh well. Anyway. And speaking of Superliners, okay, so we're frustrated with Anderson, right?
Uh-huh.
We're all frustrated with Anderson. Yeah.
The guy that's killing Amtrak.
Right.
Oh,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah, that guy. Should you, someone should, we all should be aware that, while he is busy, bleeding Amtrak dry, he is collecting a retirement fund consisting of $72 million of Delta stock.
Holy shit.
Oh my god.
Live.
Get rid of him.
No, he needs this, don't throw him out of his job, he needs this job.
No, he fucking doesn't.
Get
In
rid
airlines.
of him.
Burn
Also,
the
I
witch.
just realized that he got paid $15.8 million a year in 2015. Like, he got paid $15.8 million in 2015.
Burn the
Get
witch.
You can fund a
rid
steam locomotive West to raise that money.
You
him.
fund like several.
You
Because
could
he's
spend
not
that money on
airlines.
tin cans and forks for all I care. At least we'd still have dining car service and we wouldn't be running buses through Kansas. Sorry, I'm just gonna have some gummy bears.
Yeah.
Calming down now. Carry on.
Let's have some gummy bears. Not too many, because you know what happens. But Haribo sugar-free gummy bears. Some of the best reviews ever posted on Amazon. Anyway.
I'm gonna look this up now.
No, don't look it up.
Not now.
I'm doing it.
Not now.
Too late.
Anyway.
No.
Oh boy, do I have tons of things to talk about with regards to that. Everything else that I have is Amtrak rants. Just about everything else. Except for a really cool article that talks about UP Tunnel 11 that collapsed, which is the one that actually we had to go through on the Willamette Pass, which was cool. And I was like, yeah, the tunnel was collapsed.
You can buy a
You know.
5-pound bag of gummy bears.
Yes, you can.
Oh.
And also, that Tane Service Pack 3 has been released,
Ooh.
which
Yeah,
I tested
yeah.
out. And I haven't tested out the important bits, but apparently my computer has become bad enough that I can't use the 5-meter grid properly, which sucks.
Hmm.
But anyway, that's
I
just
still haven't
that's
tested out on my end, but
Yeah,
it popped
that's
up.
last random bits of news. My last little random bit I have is that they're getting the combination levers for Tornado fixed.
Yay.
By getting new ones forged. It should be returned to service sometime later this year.
Tater.
What are you on about? Oh no, is he
He's
reading
reading
the
that-
review?
he's
Sugar-free
reading the
gummy
gummy
bears?
Anyway.
Oh my god.
So
Bouncing
Bright
here and
line.
there and everywhere.
Bright Line. Bright Line.
Everyone's favorite railroad.
I want to
Everyone's
make my
Some
joke from
people
earlier, but
love
no.
it so much they become permanently acquainted with it.
Oh jeez. You're next.
Yeah, so they've got their permissions to build to Orlando. So
Lanto?
Orlando.
Orlando.
Where's
yeah.
Orlando?
Orlando. Sorry.
It's in between Orlando and Atlanta.
And Toronto.
In Tampa.
No,
Yeah.
Tampa.
Yeah. Anyway,
Tampa, you're next.
they've got the permissions to build to Orlando.
Oh, did I delete
They're
that?
going to Disney World, and then
Disney World.
after that,
I deleted it.
their Tampa's their next target, and that's actually what it says. So, look out, Tampa! Bright lines coming through.
Concern.
Look out, Tampa,
Concerned.
your citizens are gonna die.
Yeah. So, trains will be running by 2021. They're gonna be probably putting stuff. Broad median of Interstate 4 that transportation planners protected from highway lane encroachment is likely the path to Brightline's next destination. So they might be building down a median, which is cool, actually. I think it's really cool. And yeah,
That'd be good advertising.
yeah, they need to wrap the trains in a you could be on this when they drive by people stuck in traffic.
They need to make a
Yeah.
Kool-Aid one.
Oh yeah.
Please.
Yeah.
No, I think that's a little bit too much considering they continue hitting people. Oh yeah,
Where is it?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
the train's coming. Oh no, oh no, oh no. Yeah.
Well, as horrible of a segue as
Oh
it is,
god, I was
No,
gonna not say this.
God.
But
this is probably some of the biggest news.
yeah,
Yeah,
Um,
definitely.
most
Unfortunately,
recent, considering.
at the time of filming this podcast, last night, well, actually, today and yesterday were the runs for Union Pacific's Cheyenne Frontier Days train of 2018.
Hmm.
And as some will already have known just by saying that, yesterday on the return leg from Cheyenne to Denver in Henderson, Colorado, 844 struck and killed a pedestrian at a level crossing. At this time, very few details are known about it. Very little's been released to the public, which, quite frankly, I think it'll remain that way. There's, it's a fairly open shut thing. It's a shame that it happened. I think I speak for all of us when I say our regards go out to the family and the crew.
Look, listen,
Mhm.
live.
Look, listen, live, kids. It's sad, but this stuff unfortunately happens. It's just a shame that it had to be so publicized.
But
Let's just not overreact about it.
Yeah.
Everybody
Don't
stay calm
overreact
about it.
And just don't overreact, really. I mean, I just have nothing to really say. I mean, people get hit by trains. That's just
it sucks.
Well,
yeah. It's
as crew, it's awful.
yeah, like
Yeah.
as
Yeah.
true. It's all like it's awful because they have to live with that for the rest of their lives. Like
imagine.
they can't say it. Like they can't say it didn't happen.
Mhm. Well, imagine if there wasn't a crew.
If there wasn't.
Oh, God.
I don't like.
Yeah,
Here we
it
go.
was like
No.
autonomous
Here we go.
trains.
So,
Wait.
where is the most boring stretch of railroad that exists?
Utah.
New Mexico.
Midwest.
You're close, but think bigger.
I come from along
You've got the
Argentina.
right you've got the
Mexico
right
and Arizona.
idea, but think bigger.
Siberia.
Mm-mm.
The
Hotter.
moon.
hotter.
Hotter than Siberia.
I come
Anywhere
fridge.
else on
Yeah, a fridge, a freezer,
Yeah.
ice cream parlor.
Try Australia,
Okay.
where there's the 300-mile long stretch. Or no, sorry, it's 300 kilometers that are just flat, straight, and empty, and there's nothing there. So, the first fully driverless train has made its first delivery of iron ore between the Mount Tom Prince mine site and the port of Cape Lambert. So it was, it made the entire journey without a driver on board. The trip was monitored remotely from the operations center, which is more than 1,500 kilometers away. And it says auto haul will be fully commissioned by the end of this year. So
They took their jobs.
they are fully they are fully in to make this incredibly boring, empty, lifeless land even more lifeless by removing the crew from their trains. So I don't know, that's kind of nuts. This is if any place is good for that, it's this and maybe like, you know, someplace like the Black Mesa and Lake Powell where things basically run in a loop like a toy train.
Yeah.
So they've done it. They have a driverless train, like an actual full-size train that is driverless. So we'll see where this goes because that's kind of intense. Anyway, what was the other thing? What was something? Oh yeah. Wabtec, and because Wabtec has adopted GE and stuff, we might see automated locomotives in the U.S. coming faster than expected, because GE didn't really have an interest in that, but Wabtec does.
In
and
what?
now they just
Sorry.
in automated locomotives
Oh.
and in autonomous engines, and we, you know.
What is... Just real quick, I might be missing something really obvious. Why does Wabtec in particular have an interest in autonomous
I don't know.
mode of power? Have they
I don't
stated
know
that?
why. I believe so. That's kind of what this article is about.
Oh, okay.
Object Core in this reporting over data, blah, blah, weighing whether the 11 million mega deal with GE's locomotive business makes sense when they had an eye-widening moment. Placing GE's transportation research goals on top of theirs, the Wabtec executives noted that both companies had been pursuing technology to drive self-driving trains, and each company had hit roadblocks in different ways. But the two operations together, and, quote, those gaps to a large extent are filled. So,
Interesting.
they had both hit roadblocks, but because now they're one, they may have figured out ways around said roadblocks. So, you know, there's a lot of stuff in this article. It's a pretty meaty article. So if you want to read more about it, feel free.
Meat.
It's got meat.
Meteor.
Bum.
And, yeah. I don't know. I can't get into it right now because we are running a really long podcast. But, you know.
Yeah, quite long.
Yeah,
Quite
we're
long.
at,
It's a
what, 3
long-
hours now? Yeah, 3
Yeah.
hours.
It's a long boy. But
But
anyway. Let's talk about something. You know, I'll leave the Amtrak stuff for next time because we can spend a solid
Yeah,
like the time on
ITM
that.
stuff.
especially if we start discussing it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. Now,
episode
Knowing
one
news
or
of the
two,
news is enough. If we
Amtrak.
start putting an opinion and logic to it, good lord, we try to apply logic to Amtrak.
We'd have a 6-hour podcast.
yeah.
Well,
And
anyway,
then there's
it's
also
very
the other
late.
stuff.
It's currently going on midnight
here.
out east.
Yeah.
And the other thing that's really important then that we should mention, all these things that you've got here, Jader. Well, mostly these three, or no, these two. Sorry. So explain to me what's going on with ITM because I don't really know
Okay.
anything about it.
I've been
All right.
following
No, I want Jader
this,
too because it's his thing. It's his things.
All right, I've been following it. I've been following it. Basically, I'll sum it up. I'll sum it up real quick. Basically, the ITM lost the court battle with the city of Noblesville and Fishers, Indiana, to continue to exist, basically. And on July 1st, or maybe the day before, I forget, they were given
2 weeks.
right. They were given
No. Weibel, remove your message. I told him he could post that with an NSFW warning.
Okay.
Okay.
Uh,
They were given 2 weeks to evict, to get everything that they could out of
To their
Noblesville.
credit, they did a
Oh.
lot.
Oh yeah, they got
And there
What
were
was it?
some heroes in this.
for sure.
Like the people that privately owned and purchased stuff from the museum.
Yeah.
They're the real MVPs here.
Same with what was
HSC
it?
got quite a few names.
As far
They
as
got a few passenger cars and a few freight cars.
right.
Actually, quite a few freight cars.
Yeah, and then
Wait.
what was it? The main piece that that at least immediately came in my head when I heard all this, what's going to happen to 587? Well,
Yep.
July 1st, Kentucky Steam Corp.
just still pull a good load.
Thanks.
Nice.
Thank you, Ellis.
Never again.
Can you get a point for that? Join me.
The acting was too good. It wasn't believable enough.
Damn
Thanks.
Anyway, Kentucky Steam Corp stepped in, purchased, I believe. Let me. I have the Facebook post. Like I saved
It's
it.
still owned by ITM, but they're storing it.
Well, no, they purchased like a tool car and some other shit.
Well,
yeah, they
no,
purchased
they're
the
all-
tool car.
They're storing that for ITM.
Right. Yeah, they purchased the. I keep saying. Okay.
They purchased
Yeah.
it.
They got. Okay. They rescued 587.
Yay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And just in the last couple weeks, they got it. They got it moved to Ravenna. Future. Right. Basically, it's like a safe haven for the time being. Let's see.
Well, you're trying to figure that out. What got scrapped? Because we all
Yeah.
want to know what got scrapped. One Milwaukee Road SW1 scrapped.
Oh.
Electric locomotive from the Evansville in Ohio Valley scrapped.
Wait, what kind? Special kind?
GE freight locomotive got
Oh,
scrapped.
okay.
Indianapolis interurban car scrapped.
No.
A whole bunch of Chicago L cars, like 6 of them, scrapped.
Really?
Yep.
I have a question before we
What?
continue down this list. How did it get to this point?
Yeah, what was the deal? What was this court case? Were they
Yeah.
suing over environmental grounds or funding concerns or what?
As far as I know,
I'm unfamiliar with the museum really to begin with, besides the fact
Well,
that they
let's
have
see.
583.
the main reason I believe that they got kicked out, well, other than losing the court battle, was over
The city
environmental.
hates them.
Yeah, mainly environmental concerns. Like their place was just like they had
Yeah,
open containers of wait. It was just
it's the railroad yard.
well, still yeah.
Yeah.
Basically, it was a mess.
Yeah.
And
Not
then-
saying it was a dump, but
Yeah,
they
and then-
definitely made no efforts to clean it.
Right.
Yeah, it's a railroad yard.
So it was,
They are heroes that came out of this. That
Yeah.
fortunately purchased some. Like IRM got some of the tracks and stuff. Quite a few private owners stepped in and
They saved.
purchased stuff.
I
What
think.
is with 2018?
I don't know.
I know.
Yeah,
Weird.
Like
it-
we've
it's
lost.
just-
We had
it's just-
503.
It's just not a
That's
good
not-
year
No.
for rare preservation and otherwise.
It's the year that separates the men from the children in railroad
Yeah.
preservation.
The foamers from the people that actually get involved.
Mhm.
I
Yeah,
can guarantee-
except when you finally get all the foamers involved, then we're still having troubles with 503. You thought 503 would be saved by now. It's
503 is
not.
done. 503.
Yeah.
Did we talk about that?
But we did
Nope, not
save
yet.
it from being scrapped. was the
Yes. That's which at the end of the day, that's what matters. It lives
Yeah.
to see
Right.
another day.
Yeah.
But,
We
But,
can see it run, but oh well.
At least it's still- at least it still exists.
Motors and free mal cars, which were none of them were operational, but they could have been really good parts, and I looked at them for other stuff, and they didn't quite have the right parts, so I didn't.
Well,
do
they
it.
are going to be parts now. They're going to be parts of tin
They're
Partially.
cans.
parts of,
Or,
yeah, now they're
Tin cans
Mazdas
and razor
Sports.
blades.
Nickel plate wooden coats from 1907 got scrapped.
hmm
Quite a bit of the coaches survived. Only one other car got scrapped, and that was
That's a
eight-
shame that coach was gone though. That's something
Yeah.
special.
That's a rare coach.
Okay.
Anything wood nowadays.
The Anticoast 9. Alright, it was the stainless steel Pullman sleeper, and they got scrapped.
A lightweight car?
I
Yeah.
think so.
Streamliner.
Yeah, they had like
uh,
they had like 10 or something of
an
the,
18. Yeah,
of the
most
stainless
all
steel
of them
cars.
got saved, practically,
Mhm.
including the
No, I
Cowboy Zephyr cars. Which
I was gonna say
also-
they saved like 7 or 8 of them.
I was wondering about those.
Yeah, I was wondering about those too, and I was really happy to see that they got saved.
Yeah.
I just wish we could save the.
Yeah. Well, I wish we knew about this ahead of time. It felt like it just came out of nowhere.
I was gonna
It
say,
kinda-
well, they
it
gave him
kinda
2
did.
weeks notice.
And then
You know?
the
I wish
people
that
that
we as a
got
community
stuff.
could do more, but it just takes so much to get any of this organized. You know, even looking at some of the botany stuff, which I'm not sure how much I talked about it on the podcast, but the money is only a start. The coordination
Yeah.
of moving this
Oh,
crap
yeah.
and getting it to a new home with the trucking and the permitting and the craning and yada 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 yada.
as
this-
someone currently involved with the botany process, it takes much longer than 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I'm honestly surprised that they got it all together in.
I'm
Well,
glad
at
they
least
got out
it's-
what they
it's-
did.
They were
Right.
able to get much of the stuff.
That if that city had really been, you know, as malicious and angry about it as it seems like
Yeah.
they were,
Yeah,
I
they.
would have been shocked to have seen 583 been cut up.
587.
Or 587,
I
sorry.
was gonna say, from what I understand, they, like it was mainly just politicians. Like the people of Noblesville were, they wanted the train to stay,
Yeah.
but the politicians, politics. I'm not gonna go into it because I don't give a shit about politics.
Something
Well,
museum.
you gotta wonder what it is, because usually,
Yeah, well,
You
if
know-
it's environmental stuff, that's, yeah.
I don't know. Bunch of
I have to,
crap
again,
politics.
I have to
let's
be
not
curious.
Get into it.
I wish we had more to go off of, because
Other than there was
at this
a
point in
scenario
time,
where
it's like
everyone-
there was a court case. It has something to do with the environmental stuff, and they lost. And it's like,
Right.
okay, what did they care about? What was the problem? Why did they care? They usually this kind of stuff doesn't just happen on a whim.
It's
So
been developing for like the past 2 years, I think.
mhm,
This is why I pay attention to some stuff that
yeah,
could be potential botany.
Wonder,
Facebook is a wonderful resource.
Yeah.
I hate
Which
to even insinuate pointing fingers, but you would wonder why nobody decided, hey, this might be something serious. If the court case has been going for 2 years,
Well,
yeah.
it's kinda like
sometimes, as we've been discussing a lot
no,
recently
that's like
with
from not even the court case starting. Well, wait, no, you're right. Never mind.
regardless,
It's like the people that owned all the cars that burned them yard.
regardless, as we've been talking about a lot at the museum, sometimes being the curators of this stuff and means doing what's best for the equipment, and that occasionally means leaving your collection.
Hmm.
Right.
In the case of the Burnham equipment, in the case of this equipment, in the case of 503 especially, the better home isn't always the home that it has or the people that think they are the best home for it. Come on.
Yeah, well, that's what frustrates me, because clearly this stuff doesn't happen overnight, and as well, yes, I would love to know more about the motive of what was going wrong there, what was wrong with the place, what was going on in people's heads that were trying to push them out. But I really want to know why wasn't there some sort of SOS going out? Like,
Why-
hey,
yeah,
we could
why-
lose this.
Why
we
is
could
it
lose
the
this.
SOS went
came
out
with the
2
2
weeks
weeks
before it all went
notice.
down? This
I
list
don't
is,
know.
it's
It's
on
like
somebody's hands. This list it's sad. It's really depressing that this happened. And
Yeah.
it could have
Like-
been prevented.
It's like, hey, there's water coming in the first 6 compartments. Should we send out an SOS? No, wait. We
For,
might
for
patch
anyone interested, here's the list. You can go beat it.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah, that'd be good to look at,
And
I
it was
guess.
last updated on the 13th, which is when most of the things either got scrapped or got moved out. That was
What I kind of wonder is, was everything cut up on spot?
As
yes.
far as I know, yeah, it was.
Everything that could be cut up was cut.
That's just brutal.
So that helped a whole bunch of people for 2 weeks getting together and seeing what they could do to get stuff in their ownership.
Hmm.
Which, to their credit, they've done a really great job of doing.
Oh, they did for sure.
They managed to save a lot of stuff.
Hmm.
Unfortunately, some things like the L cars were too far gone.
Oh man, somebody should have told Strasbourg about that wooden coach. I'm sure they could have been all over it.
Yeah.
That's
I'm
that's
not
the
sure
thing that
this
sticks
minute.
out in my head. That's the thing that annoys me. Of all the stuff that got cut up or scrapped, the wooden coach.
Oh yeah, Strasbourg would have been just like here, Gib.
Like
Yeah.
I love wooden coaches for all the wrong reasons,
There was
but I love wooden coaches.
That's also wood that got scrapped. but it
I'm
was
the
in-
sicko that helps restore them, and I still love them.
Yeah.
They're just unique
Yeah,
in
I'm
this day and
still
age.
restoring wood and stuff too. I appreciate.
Well, anyway. Oh, okay,
Regardless.
should we start to close this out now?
Yeah, I'm starting to get a
I-
little.
Yeah,
I'd like to focus on something that isn't railroading for a while.
I was gonna say. I
Yeah.
mean, I can kind of lighten the mood with some good news.
Oh, well, no, I got some light mood. Hey, Dean, can I steal something?
Go ahead.
We got Ivan out of KNL.
Did we?
Yes.
How?
It's been on the projects list. We got Strasbourg 90 now.
Oh, on the
Super Ivan.
projects list.
Yeah, no, it's done. It's done.
Yeah.
It's been on the projects list.
Right. It's done. How do we have it?
Like
It's in trains.
we can buy it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I thought you were
I'm
going
saying-
somewhere else with that. Wait, what?
No, we have the KNL 90 available to purchase, and I'm pretty sure it comes with cars and stuff like that. Because obviously,
It
'Cause it's
came with
KNL.
our half-hour train, I think.
yeah. Oh, it's so awesome. That makes me so that makes me happy. And if we want to talk about some other things, this is not in our neck of the woods, but the Red Devil lives.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
that's right.
Yep. So it's SAR, right? South African
Yeah.
Airways?
Yeah.
Yeah. The Red Devil is operating. And that's one of the most modern steam engines.
1981 build.
1981. Yeah. I only remember it because it shows up really late in the game in
In Railroad Tycoon?
yeah, in Rare
Yeah.
Tycoon, exactly.
And you're
Right
like,
now, I want to play Rare Tycoon, but it's like midnight.
Yeah, and CSX has donated a depot to a town in Dante, Virginia. Oh, the depot's in rough shape, though. I was like, oh, they donated a depot. Isn't that nice?
You really
And
hope
it's
that there's no vandals, because then it'll be Dante's Inferno.
Here's the thing.
Sorry.
Here's the thing.
Oh,
Here's the
it's
thing.
good.
The building is just like brick walls with some of a roof. It's not great. But hey, they donated it. CSX has been trying to get rid of a lot of its stuff.
Yeah,
Like, a lot of
sold
it's random
they sold
outbuildings.
Yeah, they sold a couple of lines to Watco a couple weeks ago.
Because
Yeah.
Harrison.
But
wrecked
lines,
everything.
I'm just talking about buildings in particular. They've been going
Oh,
through all
okay.
their buildings and checking, okay, is this good to get rid of? Is this good, can we sell this? Can we tear this down? Because they have a whole bunch of buildings. They have a lot of random buildings that they're never going to use because they're like depots and coaling towers and,
Yeah.
just random junk.
I was gonna say there's a coaling tower north of Marion that's still
Mhm.
it's on the CSX, I think. No,
It
no,
is?
no, it's on the NS.
And,
I
well,
think I can't remember.
I'm sorry, we can't go without talking about just one more tragedy. At a park in Alabama,
Oh no.
a train derailed.
That's tragedy. derailed.
Tipping over and injuring 10 people that were ranged in age from 4 to 5 years old. Oh no, 4 to 5 to 75 years old. Okay, I thought it was
Okay.
all little kids.
I was like,
Uh,
they're all children. All of
Officials
the
say the
victims
train
were children.
overturned. The train overturned when it entered a curve in the track near the petting zoo on Saturday. The mayor's administrative assistant, Shane Ellison, says some of the cars on the train derailed and turned on their sides.
Dude, that reminds me
Good
of
observation, my dude.
that worst model train test or something
Yeah.
worst model train.
World's
World's
scariest.
scariest model train wreck.
Scariest
Oh my
train.
God.
Scary.
Oh,
That
that's
takes
a
me back
blast
to-
for the fence.
That takes me back to when I was 12, watching that
takes
all
me
the time.
back.
World's scariest model train wrecks. Oh, I loved that.
Scariest
So,
model train
it's-
wrecks.
It's 11 years old.
Oh my
Oh
god.
my God, I feel so old.
Alright, anyway.
All right.
Speaking of things that have been going on longer than they should be going, it's
This.
time to play latest train on Amtrak.
I want to lighten the mood real quick though.
What?
Oh.
Okay, this will take a minute or so.
Get on
all right.
with it.
Go.
So, Age of Steam, Moorhead and Norfolk number 12, has completed test runs.
Woo!
Yay!
Yeah, I saw the video, or no, not even the video, an Instagram post from Jay, and I'm just like, I was at work, and I'm just like,
Instagram.
I was just
Oh! Okay, so we via rail now. Just to preface this, we via rail now. The
Also,
delay.
IRM fired up a Shay.
Yay! The delay that's the latest train in Amtrak is really something.
Okay.
So, all right, what are your guesses?
Eastbound, southwest.
What's
Chief.
something really weird?
I'm going to take the Sunset Limited.
Oh, dang it.
Okay, eastbound or westbound?
Actually,
Yeah, there's only one on the map now, and it's currently the westbound is the only one on the map. So westbound.
I'll take the westbound then.
All right. Anybody else?
Eastbound California Zephyr. Number 6.
Eastbound Zephyr. Okay.
Eastbound. Shoot. What do I say now? Eastbound something. It was going toward Chicago. Dang it! I remember it now. Eastbound Southwest Chief.
Okay. Wait,
I'm
did two
gonna
people say that?
No.
Okay.
I said
Right?
that.
I don't know.
Okay.
I'm gonna go on a limb. The northbound, I think, Crescent.
Oh, that's a good one because that's
That's a
been
good
real
one.
late lately. But
That's
the
a good
Crescent
one.
right now is 1 hour and 48 minutes late.
Oh,
Late,
heck.
but not that bad. The
By Amtrak
Sunset Limited.
standards.
The Sunset Limited is 57 minutes late, which
Okay.
is really good for the Sunset Limited.
Pretty good.
The California Zephyr as a whole is doing great. It's got
Damn it.
three trains in the green and one train that's 30 minutes late.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Good job.
And the Chief also is doing pretty good, where its latest train is a westbound that's an hour and 55 minutes.
Is it one of the
However-
silver services?
However, no. There's one
Empire
more.
Builder.
There's one, yeah.
Oh. okay.
Empire Builder number 8
How
is
late is
not-
it?
is not in Chicago yet. It should have been in Chicago many hours ago.
How
The
many hours?
How many
ago?
hours? Yeah.
It is currently the Empire Builder is 13 hours and 6 minutes late,
Oh my god.
Ouch!
and it picked up
Major.
10 hours of delay between Glasgow, Montana, and Wolf Point, Montana. So I'm
Whoa.
wondering what happened out there.
Avalanche?
Because the other
maybe?
two
Wow.
the other two Empire Builders are 4 hours and 5 hours late respectively. And there's another one that hasn't reached that yet that's still on time.
My
So-
guess, I'm guessing an avalanche of some sort.
Something happened out there.
I
Something
know Venus will put them in a siding next to the yard.
For 10 hours?
Yeah.
Yeah,
They just kind of forgot about it.
Is
Yeah.
BNSF allowed to do that?
I don't think they are.
I mean, they
wouldn't
aren't
think so.
supposed to.
They can dig
Yeah.
over Amtrak like that, yeah.
Yeah, but for 10 hours, a train
No.
with actual
No.
people on it?
I don't think so.
I don't
mean,
know that they're
hypothetically, they
allowed
could.
to do that.
I mean, they technically aren't allowed to put Amtrak in the hole for any of their trains anyway.
This
But
is
they
true.
do it anyway.
So, you know. But anyway, yeah, it has to have been something that happened up there. Washout, fire, like, God knows.
All of the above.
Yeah, all the
Explosion.
DNS.
Yeah, they got
DNS.
DNS.
The
But
dinosaur on the Blockbuster.
For the record,
American
for the
Airlines.
record, just to compare, the reason I said we Via Rail now, boys, is because the latest train on Via Rail is less late than that train.
Oh god.
Not by much. It's 12 and a half hours late.
You
But it's
know
better
it's
than,
bad
than
when-
13 hours.
Jeez.
So anyway, to those of you out on the Empire Builder tonight, I'm sorry, and this contradicts exactly what my termination is going to be. But let's move on to those now.
Okay.
All right, first up, who's first up? I didn't know.
Jader.
First up, Jader.
Oh, all right. Okay, let's see. Because I couldn't do it earlier. West Virginia.
No.
Oh, I'm tired.
Okay.
I want to go to
Is
sleep.
that just what you want your thing to be? Okay, I'll just make it that instead of the link you posted.
Oh, no, keep that too.
Okay, well, you might want to say that, because that's supposed to be what your last words
Oh,
are.
yeah, sorry. Save 703.
Okay. Bye.
I don't know. I'm tired.
Everyone's tired.
Yeah. Okay. I'll just leave that.
Yeah.
Okay, and next is me. And I would like to say, despite what we just did, ride Amtrak. If you have the time, it's the way to travel. I'm honest about that. I had a hell of a time, and it's really not like anything else. And next is Dean.
Why this
This.
monstrosity?
Should I be concerned?
It's amazing.
Should you?
No, you shouldn't be. That's amazing.
Amazing.
I mean, I want it, but why does it exist? Doesn't even have headlights.
Is there a picture of it?
The army made things
Oh,
like
God.
that during the war.
Wait, which one? There's like a
the
ton
one
of
that
them.
says, why this?
No, like which picture?
It's a
Only the one.
Jeep that's a Fairmont car. It's actually not even a Jeep.
We're
That's
now
just
the
making it
Harm
over
Warrior
Jeep.
podcast.
Alright, anyway.
That's not it.
But anyways, my termination is a nice snow gig forum thread about the town of Austin, Oregon on the Sumter Valley.
Okay. Well, anyway, hope you guys enjoyed this video, and we'll see you in a couple of weeks on time, hopefully.
Hopefully.
We won't
Not
be
like the
via-
Empire Builder. This was the Empire Builder of podcasts. We definitely have a new length record that people in the fan chat are going to be excited. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed
well.
this video. We'll see you in a couple of weeks. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Good night, everybody.